I don't know why they ended my live. Trying to put a rush on that. You know what I'm saying? For real. What's good, Mia? Bring you in this zone if you want to. Whole time, we just talking today. Ain't nothing too serious. We just slight today. You know what I'm saying? We real slight with it. Mia dipped. Or did you? Bring your ass here, girl. Who keep on hitting my phone, bro? Who? Oh, yeah. I'm going live right now. Oh, what's good? What's good, big dog? What's this? Common Sense Culture. I like that name. Oh, yeah, this is Bro.
Yo, bro.
What's up, big dog?
Oh, shit. Hey, sorry, I
What's
couldn't
good
hear
with
you
you?
if you. My bad, I
Huh?
just put my headphones in. What's going on, homie?
Man, I ain't doing much. You see me rolling up, smoking a little blizzy.
Okay, I might join you. I got a pipe over here packed, so, you know.
Word, that's how we get down, baby.
What you
So,
trying to talk about today, man? You want to discuss men and women by chance?
yeah, I'm up for discussion for anything, and the men and women is the daily topic. That's where we going. You know what I mean?
Well, I was just thinking about launching live, bro, to talk about that, and I was like, who could I get on to chop this up with? And literally, I see that you sent me your live. I was like, man, because I really loved like the show that we had the other day. And before I came on, you were talking about Kevin Samuels, and you seem to get it in ways that really nobody else is right now. So yeah, let's
It's
get into it.
crazy, bruh.
It
Niggas trying to
is.
call me the godson.
I
I'm
love
not the
that.
godson.
Hell yeah.
But
Hell
I
yeah.
just, you know what I mean? It's not only Kevin Samuels, though. It's a lot of other red pill people that are not mentioned.
Hmm.
Um, and it's also my personal experience
Me too.
that's really built this up. Like,
Same.
happy Flat Earth Friday. We can get into Flat Earth, too. I agree with the Flat Earth theory.
Bro, I'm studied in physics and whatnot, and yeah, that's the only thing that applies. The heliocentric Big Bang globe model is total nonsense. I can blow that apart with some scientific laws real quick. But let's.
I'll say this. Since neither side knows, what's up, superstar? Since neither side actually knows,
Yeah.
both uh, guesses are just as valuable as the other. So we have to show homage and pay respect to the opposite side or the opposite viewpoint. Um,
Also,
however,
I'm not trying to
when
get into it too much,
examining the information, I definitely am a flat earther.
bro. Second law of hydrostatics: water always seeks and maintains its own level. How's it do that on anything but a flat plane, let alone a ball? Wouldn't it curve around the ball? It's always flat. How's it do that on anything but a flat plane?
Yeah, but see, they say okay, it looks flat because of gravity, blah blah. They have their own shit that they
They
be saying, but
justify it that way.
I agree with what you're saying. You
They'll
feel me?
justify it that way. I've heard that argument before, but what they don't understand is if there's equal amounts of pressure of gravity forcing on all places towards the center of that ball, that water would be curved around the ball. It would never appear flat. So that's
Facts.
wrong. That's
At
wrong.
8 inches per mile.
Exactly, bro. You know what you're talking. Exactly. There's a
Yeah,
formula that we could prove that there should be curvature demonstrated by here. It should be
yeah.
curving around the ball. It's not.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's always flat. The horizon's always flat. It means horizontal. Um, they've never demonstrated curvature. Amateurs have sent balloons and rockets up like 90 miles into the sky, like 20 miles, I think, is the highest, and they've never ever captured the curvature. So, I mean, you get NASA giving you like fisheye cameras and all kinds of simulations and composites and shit like that. But if you can't if you can't corroborate it outside of NASA, I don't believe it. NASA was founded by Nazis. It wasn't infiltrated by Nazis. It was founded by them, and Project Paperclip smuggled into here. So I don't trust a word from them
At all.
ever. No, they're big line. The whole moon thing's a freaking giant fraud. Going to the moon and shit. Like, they're just, we pay to be deceived on a massive scale by NASA. We're paying them billions of dollars a year to deceive us like nobody's business.
Facts, bro. I'm glad you're woke.
You too, man. Honestly, it was refreshing hearing what you were talking about the other day. And I'd be really interested in getting to Kevin Samuels. I don't know if we got any women that we could bring on to, like, it's just it's something else, man. Kevin Samuels got a lot of heat, but I think that it's a really big loss for a few big reasons. But one, he was groundbreaking on the discussion for men and women's relations, and he was kind of an advocate or a champion for the man side. And he did that because he said, like, it's not because men aren't, like, responsible for
He was not an advocate.
What would you call him?
What it was is he's an advocate for men who are on their purpose. It's a specific subset of men who he advocate for.
Sure.
There are a lot of men who are lazy, irresponsible, not accountable. They have a lot of the feminine qualities that he was talking to the females about.
Beta males.
Facts. So he's not referring to those males when he was talking about males and stuff. He used to call them high value men. And however your value is, whatever you consider high value, those men is what he's talking about.
Right. And by the way, 90% of women want that 10% of men because it's a very small group of men that have separated themselves from the rest. The other 90% aren't even really acknowledged by women. They don't even know they exist. And that's why you got a lot of, like, things like incels and shit like that. Guys can't get laid to save their lives because women don't consider those guys.
Facts. I mean, but that right there is a part of reality that is unfair to men, but it's just a part of reality. That
it is what it is, bro. Men don't, you don't hear us bitching about it. We all know what it is. But women, on the other hand, they get upset because they all want the high value men, and there's only 10% of them for the 90% of women that want them. So therefore, they have a ton of options, and they've earned it to get there because men are not given any sexual marketplace value inherently. You have to earn that over time. Women were born with all the sexual marketplace value in the world, so they think they're kind of entitled because they can get laid anytime they want. But the problem is, a high value male, he's the prize. You're not, and he has plenty of options. So these women get bent out of shape or whatever.
I gotta bring you up a little bit. So in any relationship, neither and both are the prize. Just
I didn't mean that like that.
High value doesn't make him the prize over the woman.
What I meant is he's the one that has more options than her at that point.
Yes. However, though, both of them are considered the prize. If one of them considers themselves the prize over the other one, that's extreme narcissism.
Yes, sir. I didn't mean it like that. Thank you for, like, addressing that, because that's not what I meant to say.
The other person is always the prize, not me.
I think it's an equal complementary partnership in which both of you should be bringing something to the table that makes the exchange worth value.
Yes. That's it right there. The problem is men and women today are trying to bring the same things to the table.
That's a great observation.
That's the problem. It's like I was talking to this with what do you call the animal people? This person who really likes fucking lions, right? We were talking about relationships and shit. And I'm like, yo, what if, the female lions, in a pride, you have a male lion and then like 4 female lions and some cubs.
Right.
And the male lion, he literally just sits there all goddamn day and protects the pride in their territory.
Right.
What if the 4 female lions decided, fuck that, we're going to protect the pride. We're going to protect the territory. You leave the male lion without a purpose.
Exactly.
Running around doing anything.
And that's where we're at with women right now, man. Society has provided and protected for them in such a way they don't feel they need a man.
And now
men are purposeless.
We are walking around here purposeless.
Great point, bro. Great observation.
So yeah, and she agreed as well. It's crazy because you really gotta appeal to the emotional side of women in order to get across to them.
Yeah, because they're the nurturers, so therefore emotion trumps logic. If your feelings are the most valid thing in the world, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, ladies. We need your nurturing to balance out. Men are the opposite, so the two of us have a hard time understanding one another. But you're right. You need to acknowledge the emotions are the feelings she was feeling in the moment are equal, if not more important, to the facts of the matter. You need to acknowledge how she feels.
Facts. And here's the thing: she doesn't need to acknowledge how you feel. And this is
No,
this.
you're right.
Listen, this is the bad part about it as men, but it's a part of what makes us so. What's the word I'm looking for?
Stoic.
Stoic and visionary. It's like something to be. We're idols because of this.
Yes. They want a rock. They want a man that they can know no matter what kind of emotional bullshit I'm going through, breakdowns, that man's going to have my back and he's going to be stable. We can't be getting all emotionally worked up and thrown off our base out here as men.
At all. And we have to look at the women as children. The same way you would talk to a child. If that child is emotional at the time, you're not going to start spewing a whole bunch of rational bullshit. You're going to try to connect with the child at its
Great
level.
point, dude.
And man, this is what adults do a lot. I see this a lot. What adults do when it comes to trying to connect with kids, they always go back to a time when they were a kid. So this is what happened with me. Because you have to connect.
Yo, bring in Nikki. I think she's trying to talk to us. I don't know if she asking stuff. Try to bring her in. She said shaking my head and stuff.
Come in, Nikki.
Bro, I tell my friends all the time, look, stop trying to explain yourself rationally to your girl when she's worked up like that, because it's going to make her more mad at you. She's not going to care. It's going to make your situation worse.
Facts.
It's not about the facts of the matter at the time. It's about her feelings. So when you keep
Nikki
saying
looks like
facts
she
to her,
disagrees.
I'm sure she does. And let me finish this, and then Nikki, please, I'd love to hear your opinion. So when you keep saying facts to her that rationalize or justify and minimize her emotional feelings at the time, you're actually doing more damage. You're not resolving the situation. Clarifying to her is not helping. She just wants you to acknowledge the emotions that she's feeling at the time. Thoughts, Nikki?
What do you have to say about that, Nikki?
That part. No, that part. Because sometimes we don't need you to save a hoe. Sometimes we need you to sit down and listen to us. And
wouldn't that be acknowledging your emotions?
Yeah, that's why I said that part. You're right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to save no hoe.
No. The reason why I was like, wow, guys, more or less, Trey, like the things that you're saying, it feels a little outlandish. Talking to us as children.
I knew somebody was gonna be upset with that. That's hilarious.
No.
But he knew I was. That's why he brought me up.
Let me explain. Let me explain. Not talking.
And if you speak to me as a child, I'll beat your ass.
Not talking to you as
like
children. We know that you're not children, so we're going to be able to. The dialect is going to be like more, non-professional. I guess it's going to be. We can probably curse with each other and talk about things that we wouldn't talk about with kids. So it's
how bad I want to bone you right now, kind of thing. Like you can say that kind of stuff to her. Yeah.
But
I'm just trying to make
when
jokes.
we talk to you, we have to keep in mind the natural hierarchy, and someone who is the boss of a company never argues with an employee. In fact,
he never argues with an employee, but what he does do is he listens to his employee.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That a good boss meets the employee on the employee's level.
Yes.
And converses at that level. See, what we do as men, when we talk to women, we make the mistake of trying to converse with you at our level. That's the problem.
Well, that was a better way of saying it. But do you see the way you say things sometimes to women? Like you came out there and the first thing you said was speak to them as a child. And I wanted to beat your ass for that. But if you would have came at me the way that you came at me there and came at most women like that, maybe we wouldn't want to beat your ass so often.
Nikki, why was that not as offensive? I'm genuinely curious. He said we shouldn't approach you guys as if you're at our level. I'm genuinely asking, how was that like a better thing to say?
No. Because he explained it in an understanding where I get it. To speak to me at a level, and you explained it as a boss level. Not all women are going to get that, and I understand.
So you're not upset
It's-
about the fact that he was basically saying like you're not at our level. You guys are cool with like acknowledging that.
But we already came to the understanding that Trey doesn't want us at his level. Trey,
No, me either. By the way, I don't want chick like trying to compete with me or lead the way. That's my job.
I'm the type of female where I understand that there are men who live a traditional life where they acknowledge as men, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is where my woman's supposed to be. That is your opinion. That is how, if that's how you choose to live your life,
That's
and it
nature.
works for you. If that's how you choose to live your life and it works for you,
That's
then
nature.
that's great. But
Right? That's not
living a
natural order.
It is a natural
No,
order. Okay, let's not make it seem like I don't agree with that, because I do. I agree
Awesome.
with
You're cool.
my man being the leader and I following. And me and Trey have
Great,
had
that's
this
awesome.
conversation. But I also acknowledge that we live in a day and age where women have so much more freedom to do what they need to do, to be equal to men. To be equal to men, they have that freedom, that ability now that was given to us to have.
What does equal to men mean?
I can do the same job you do.
That's not what
Can you,
equal
though?
means in our books.
Also,
In your
I don't know
books,
that
it
you always
doesn't.
can.
But I'm talking about society. And society looks at it as, if I can do what a man does, that makes me equal to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I
have
know
you
that's
seen these
how the
transitional
women
men?
look at it. But hold on, let me say, the men,
Go ahead,
we
bro.
don't look at that as being equal. And in
Right,
fact,
but I'm speaking from a female perspective, right?
that's the point that I'm trying to make.
Why do
We're
you guys
making
want to
the
be
point
equal
right
to us?
now.
I'm wondering.
Huh?
Why do you want to be equal to us? Why do you want
I
to
don't
be
want to
us?
be equal to you. I don't want to be equal to you. And personally, I don't.
What kind
In
of women do
general-
want to, and why do you think that is?
Yo, a lot of women are going to be so mad at me for saying this.
Yeah, get him, Nikki. Get him, Nikki.
I don't know why you'd put me on the fucking spot like that. Because women
I
are
had to
gonna be so
ask.
pissed.
I'm just.
But, okay, the reason why we were given, the moment we were given the freedom to do things that men can do, like the moment you allowed us to work and make our own money, the moment we were allowed to vote just like any other man, that made us feel that we can now be equal to you. Whether it's true or not.
But why do they
the fact
want that? Why do they want to do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I honestly don't know. But that's
It
something
doesn't
that
seem like if I were a woman.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, if I were a woman, I would be looking for somebody like my dad, and I would be trying to endear myself to him as much as possible, knowing that he does the providing, the protecting, and the leadership kind of thing much better than any woman I've ever seen do.
But
it's more natural to him, and I'm a more of a nurturing role naturally that he's not good at, and so I will stay at home and I will make a house for him.
It's propaganda, guys.
Yes.
It's propaganda because people who are very rich want you to behave in that manner. They know as long as they can get you to behave in that manner, they're going to have dissonance that they got to fix, which makes them more valuable. Their stock goes up and they
Problem,
get more
reaction,
taxes,
solution, they call that.
more money from us. You know, the domestic situations and all of that stuff. This is what they...
Reaction, solution.
Exactly. This is how they make money. And without having to do anything, they convince you through the TV, through social media, through other forms to behave in a manner that is it goes against your best interests.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they do it in a way that you think it is going for your best interest, but it actually goes against your best interest.
So I feel like it also comes down to, in my opinion, it also comes down to demasculating men.
Yes, that's a major agenda
the
right
man
now.
is automatically going to be demasculated if the female is masculated. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a scale.
And by giving us the ability to be just like you, Well, I know you two hate this, okay? But I guess I'm the devil's advocate in this conversation. For us to be just like you, we have to bring you down to our level so we can come up a level.
Yeah, do you realize that's incredibly unattractive to you guys subconsciously, whether you realize that or not? You don't want to have to wear the pants, and you come to resent men when you do actually.
Oh, I know that. I personally know that, but I've learned that the hard way, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that the government, I think this was a conversation that me and Trey had when we first started going on lives together.
Hey, real quick,
yeah,
I'm spinning out. Trey, I'm gonna jump out and bring me back in if you don't mind. I'll request, okay?
Okay.
Good morning,
I'll be right
King.
back,
Good
dude.
morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's
Morning.
good, Quell?
Yeah, same old man. Just came from a run. I heard y'all was talking, so
Yeah.
I
So I
figured
got
I'd
on
pop
here.
in.
We winged it today. No topic at hand, but we end up at that daily topic of men and women.
Yo, this is a crazy ass topic forever in life.
I just to piggyback off of what you were just saying, I think what people have to realize too, just because you can do something does not mean you should do it.
Facts.
So
And
just
I've said
because,
that about that in even in relationships. You know what I mean? Just because you want that person doesn't mean that they're good. That's the person you meet
so
and the person
so
that's going to make you better.
so the thing that I realize is that physically, men and women aren't equal.
Exactly.
We aren't
That's what I'm saying. We're not
we
equals.
aren't equal. You guys can bear children. Your bodies go through a whole metamorphosis when you bear children. If we try to bear children, we will die. We will die. Like our bodies, your organs move around to accommodate a whole baby.
Facts.
So
And that's an invaluable role.
what I'm saying is that you try to be something that a lot of females try to be something that they're not realizing your power is your power. You just have to
Yes, bro.
learn how to utilize your power to the best of your ability, because you have an ability that men will never have.
Right.
And we covet. We're looking for that in our
Well, hold
partners,
on.
like
But here,
alpha males, if you ask
again,
me.
me being the devil's advocate in this conversation, prior to us being able to have the ability to work and be equal to men did not accept the fact that just giving birth alone is something huge and something that should be cherished and something that should be celebrated.
What do you mean?
Why did they marry
Wait.
virgins?
What do you mean?
What do you mean to marry virgins?
Yeah, back in the day, men, when they wanted to marry somebody, they wanted to touch something that ain't nobody ever touched. It's us that's good with sharing. We start sharing this new
I
age.
still ain't good with sharing. I want a pristine woman, man. I want that quality over quantity. Somebody who like doesn't just give it out all the place. That's hot to me. That's more attractive.
But listen, that's why in the legal system, if you shoot a man in the act of fucking your wife, they let you fucking off, bro.
They should, because that's
They
ridiculous.
let
You know what I mean?
off. And look, here's the
I'll blow his
crazy
head
thing.
up.
Here's the crazy thing.
And then I'll blow her head
I'm
off
not even
too.
gonna lie. I said that same thing yesterday. I was like, if I ever catch my man cheating, everybody in that house is dying. The whole house is getting burnt down.
Nice,
I don't
Nikki.
care. I don't care.
But you would go to jail for
Hey, hon,
that.
that's one thing we can relate on.
You would go to jail for that, though. Listen,
No, there's no witnesses, man.
All the witnesses
listen,
are
if
dead.
you a man and
All the
you
witnesses are dead.
you
What do we
catch
mean?
somebody having sex with your wife and you blow the back of his skull out, bro, they gonna let you off in court, bro. And it's a reason for
Definitely.
that. Because it's so deeply bred into the psyche of men to want something that no one else has ever touched. This is why when we
Yes.
go
Here's my
to the
question. Here's my
car
question.
lot, the car that we want, not the car we can get, not the car we can afford, the car that we want is the 2022. Fuck all of that shit.
That nice new smell. Yeah, you don't want no
You know
used
what I'm
car.
saying?
But here's my question, because nowadays there are men out there that don't mind the used cars, that are okay. They're
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let them have
Nowadays,
them.
it's different. You
so
got
so
this
then
beta nigga evolving.
because this
Listen.
is you have prostitutes who get married. You have strippers.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, the reason why a prostitute would get married, let's really think of the reason why a man would choose a prostitute to get married to. It's because she's making a lot of money and he's not. Let's keep it a buck.
And he's he's like a little chump, like living off of her. Basically,
Because
I wouldn't even say it is that much, because sometimes people would try to make a sexual experience, so they feel like that person, because they're experienced, I want that experience, but they don't take into account the whole person either. You get what I'm saying? Like, that person may be promiscuous and you're trying to change them. You want the experience, but then you try to make them be somebody who they don't want to be, and
And
men do that too.
I'm going off of the
Fact.
premise of these two men, and these two men are stating that they don't want a girl like that, and no man wants a girl like that. And it's like, but there are women out there.
I'm not saying no man does. I'm just saying like men of many of my friends are quantity guys. They'll fucking bang whoever all the time. I'm a quality guy. I'd
So-
rather not bang anybody. And I
But
want
let
the
me
top
ask
of the
you
line.
this:
Many of these niggas are quality guys. They
let
be
me
out
ask you
here
this though.
fucking
That's
up.
crazy. That's crazy that you just said that. So you hang around those type of guys. Why hang around those dudes when what you want don't align with how they portray? So
Portray
the
themselves.
type of type
Well,
of women,
they can take all the grenades out there and leave all the quality ladies for me. You know what I mean? That's
It's
how
like-
guys work. We've been homeboys since we were kids. You
I'm
know?
saying that those type dudes inevitably wind up ruining women. You get what I'm saying? They wind up like those type of guys wind up being guys that just go running through a bunch of women and using them and manipulating them. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say
In a
this.
relationship.
I'm
Can we
gonna say
add
this. I'm gonna say this.
in, please? When
Those
you-
kind of guys, and those kind of girls, because they exist on both sides. Girls
Yeah.
use sex
But
to manipulate, and guys use money and their appearance
so
to
but
manipulate.
I was only using that in the context of what he just said. So I wasn't trying to make it a man versus woman thing. I was using it in the context of what he was just saying particularly. So I think we have to stop doing that because females we get mad when females start saying, but the men.
Wait,
but the
what did
men
he
do
say?
it too.
I might have missed him. I'm
So
rolling
he
up.
said that. So he said that his
Wait,
a
you need
couple
your
of the guys.
to roll your split?
Huh?
You said you
No,
didn't
he said
hear
he
that.
was
You were rolling up. You need your ears to roll your split?
Yeah, men, we have a hard time multitasking. I'm gonna be honest.
Look, when I'm rolling my spliff, that's the only thing on my mind. I get it, bro.
You guys
So
are
I guess
killing me
so.
today.
What he had said that a lot of the guys that he was hanging with, they're pretty much they're the type dudes that run through women more or less, and he's
Well, I
not.
said they're quantity guys.
Well,
They're
quantity.
more about the abundance than the quality of the woman.
Yeah.
No, I like the fact. I do want to have to say this. I like the fact that you gentlemen are not being like majority and grouping men. You guys are having this conversation because I find that when I get into these conversations a lot with men, and they want to always, majority of men are like that. Majority, and it's like there's so many different levels of people that you can't say majority. So I love that you guys are doing this.
Yeah,
But the
You guys see
majority
Vita's
of
question?
men
Is sex
would
important?
have sex with those girls if they didn't have to work for it.
Are you being an asshole right now? Majority, right?
No. I'm keeping it real because because Quell is exactly right with what he's saying. But at the exact same time, though, if you put those women, those quote unquote trashy, slutty women in a room with those guys, no cameras, no,
They're gonna smash.
exactly. And
So-
but here's the thing.
but
Here's
Trey,
the thing.
let me-
Smashing doesn't equate to
Betting my life with
something that is real.
facts.
So let me say this, Trey. I'm going to push back on dudes because we always say that we're leaders and we're supposed to be in charge and we're supposed to be doing all these things. So why are we always, if we're supposed to be the leaders, why are we always looking to the woman instead of looking within ourselves, setting a standard for ourselves before we start looking at that woman at all?
Yes,
Before we
brother.
start trying to hold
Yes.
them accountable.
Well, that's how you get the
Yes.
power. That's how you'll get pussy flooring you if you have a real purpose that you're not obsessing over the pussy and pedestalizing it. That's how you really get
Listen,
it, in my opinion.
that is the purpose of my platform. I always say my platform is not for girls. My platform is for guys. And I always say things like this. Yo, how could you argue with a girl?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I love about Trey is that he's not out here trying to argue with women. He's just trying to like educate and
Yeah, exactly. So when I do make a critique on women, it's to
based off of a
shed
man's
light upon something that is not seen normally.
And I get it. Now, I'm not saying you do this, but I'm saying we have to. What's going on, Miss Katrina? That we got dudes that cling on to a movement, that cling on to any little word that they can cling on
Facts.
to because they don't want to do the work. Like because they want to say, oh well, I want a woman, but I
I
ain't
mean,
got
but
no
some
purpose
men
for
can't do the work, bro. Hear me out. Hear me out.
it.
I'm not gonna put my boy out like that, but I'm gonna just let y'all know. Some men out here are fucking 5'6" or 5'5". Okay?
They're in trouble. Yep.
And there is no amount of work that they can do about that. You know,
They're incels, man.
and
Exactly.
so watch
They're
this.
not getting
Just hear me.
sex.
Let me finish real quick. And
Mhm.
so when we together, when I'm with this person, if there's an automatic, I feel in my heart, there's an automatic jealousy or envy because of the amount of attention from women that I get versus him. Now watch this. Watch this. For
Mhm.
someone like that, they need something to cling on to, bro. This movement is saving them from possible suicide and stuff. That is important to a man.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this then. What's the
After
excuse?
that,
Because
I want you guys to answer the question that popped up.
Where
I mean,
is that?
go ahead. Go ahead.
The question was, is sex important in a relationship? Ask your question, then that's what I want. Is sex
Of
important in a
course.
relationship? She asked that.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
What? Did you say there's a bear shit in the woods?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen a
Yeah.
bear shit in the woods.
I mean,
You would assume they do, right? If they live there.
yeah, it is because without sex, we wouldn't be able to procreate. We wouldn't be here without sex.
Bro, any man that says that he's not motivated by sex would be
Yeah,
lying.
no, I mean that's stupid. I mean it's in your innate nature to do that. So
Yep.
I mean,
We're the seed planters.
yeah,
I want to
yeah. I
say
mean,
that women be expecting the same kind of relationship with their girlfriend as their relationship with you.
But why can't I get that out of?
That's true.
Why can't I get that out of my husband? Why can't you be my best friend?
Because he's a boy.
Because
yo,
I don't want to be your friend.
He's
a
I'm your
boy.
man.
let me tell
We're
you
not
this.
friends.
Let me tell you this as a married man. I had to have
We
this
ain't
conversation with my wife. You cannot, because I cannot understand you on that level. There's a certain
Exactly.
level I'm only going to be able to understand you on as your husband.
He's
Because
a boy.
everything that you do with your girlfriends, I'm not going to always do those things because that's not in my nature.
He
to
doesn't
do
know how it feels to bleed from the hole in the bottom.
We can have a friendship.
Facts.
We can talk. We can have conversations and stuff like that. But the thing is, it can't be on the level of your girlfriend. It can't be that.
Bro, you won't want that because, again,
No.
you will grow to not find that man attractive anymore if he's acting that way. I'm telling you.
Facts. Hey, the
I
bunny
understand
said,
that you
yes,
can
you
listen and show
can.
understanding.
You can
but, like,
listen and show understanding.
yeah.
Nigga.
But
Okay,
it's on
but
a
Bunny, my question was more or less like, any man can be understanding and communicate, right? But there's a different level of him being my best friend at this point as my man and talking to them.
So what would it take to be your
my
best friend?
girlfriends.
What would it take to be your best friend? What do you need from a man?
From a man or in general?
Well, for that man to be your best friend, like you're asking about.
Hey, girl. Honestly, I would need, if I wanted my man to be my best friend, I want to be able to like legit vent the way I vent with my girlfriend. I want to be able to
He
confide
has
in
to
you.
go on nail dates, and he has to go and get his pedicures and manicures with you.
Well, first of all,
and he
nobody
has to
wants
go
to
to
touch me, feet
spas.
off of me. So yes, go get those pedicures done. Because I
And
don't
let's go
want,
sit
I
in
don't
the
want,
sauna
trying to,
today.
and
Let's
now
just go
I'm
sit in the
bleeding.
sauna.
Like,
You want to go to
your
Cracker
crusties.
Barrel?
Keep your crusties to yourself, or go to the freaking like.
So I'm not even saying it on that level. Like there's certain conversations that you're gonna have. Like we're gonna have as your spouse. I'm gonna have deeper conversations that you would have with your girlfriends. We're gonna have
See,
because your girlfriend's only gonna go on a certain level. Like when I have conversations with my wife, I have a way different conversation than I have with my boys. You get what I'm saying? But so that relationship is different. So that's why I said I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the whole thing of you comparing
We're
it
gonna
to your
be
girlfriend's relationship.
besties. We're
okay,
gonna
so yeah, so
listen.
somebody
You're gonna
says
have
this
sex
to
with
me.
me, and I'm
I
gonna
want to
fully
know how you
submit
guys
to
feel
you,
about that.
and we're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
besties.
And we're going to be besties. Yeah, we'll have the best of both worlds. Have our cake and eat it
Like,
too.
I just want to be able to lie beside my man and be like, babe, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today. This bitch said this, and I want him to be like, yeah, I can't, girl, I got you. No, I can't have
Hon,
that.
here's the problem. Though. What men do is we say, well, is there a way we can resolve this situation? You guys just want to vent And so we're not good at sitting there listening to and,
There's a reason.
validating everything you say.
There's a
We
reason.
can't do that as men. We're problem-solving, logical guys. We're not
Look,
like
I
that.
want to tell you.
It just
Look,
don't work.
this is the reason for real. Because I'm gonna tell you, because this might be a fault of ours, men. So let's catch ourselves as well. You feel me? So us as men, when we talk to each other, right? So if I was coming at Quill and I was telling Quill a personal problem that I was having, there's this understanding between us already before I even start talking that I wouldn't have even expressed that to him unless I expected him to solve it. And when
Yes,
and listen, and
exactly.
when we
We're problem
talk with
solvers.
our women, we're talking to them as, like I said, on our level, and we need to stop doing that. Look at it as if it's a child. Sorry, Nikki.
Guys, I got some great advice for that.
Hold on, before you give great advice,
figured out.
I'm going to find you, Trey, and I'm going to beat you like a child. That's what I'm going to do. Take a belt.
So this is what I ask my ladies all the time. I'm like, look, I understand that sometimes you just need to vent, and that my natural instinct to solve problems might not be what you're looking for at the time. So just tell me right now, do you need me to vent to, or are we trying to solve the problem? Either way, I can be your man and support you, but just let me know.
Now you done pissed me off. I'm already pissed off, and now you want me to define what I need from you? Now forget.
Listen, listen. I'm saying, what role do you want me to play right now? I could do both if you shoot me straight, but if you need me to be a mind reader like you're trying to do right now, yeah, that's
all you gotta do is just listen, bro.
But Nikki, you
That's
can't.
it.
You
right.
can't
Don't try to solve the problem most of the time.
Don't try
Just
to
let them
solve the
vent.
problem.
But you,
It's just like a kid that comes from school and it's like, yeah, and I fell and my jeans got dirty. I got a grass stain. Darn it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
Exactly.
All right.
I'll give you a good example, Nikki. So my wife.
Obviously, he wants to continue to call me a child, and I'm going to beat his ass. But that
No.
But that's besides the point, because Trey is asking not to see his next birthday. That's what's happening in this conversation, right? It's okay, ladies. When I find him, I will make sure to put it on live that I done whooped his butt full belt. Okay.
So the thing that I do, I'll give you one time where once or twice where I listen to you vent. If I gotta listen to it a third time and it's the same problem, I'm upset now. I'm upset and I'm mad because you need to fix it.
You're just like my dad.
Like you need to fix
Yeah,
it.
I'll help you fix it. I'm not gonna sit here listening to you bitch about it all the time. I'll help you fix it, but I'm not gonna sit here bitching over and over all day about it. Yeah, you're just like my dad, bro.
No, point blank.
Yeah, Bunny, it's gonna be on World Star, okay? It's gonna be on World Star and IG Live. So check it out. When I beat his butt.
Do you think that? Do you think that's fair, Nikki? Because I think at a certain point, I'm just listening to a problem that you don't intend on fixing at that point. If it was just once,
and I agree with that, and I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of us women do that. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of women do
no
that.
Shit.
And then you guys get mad. We're looking at you like, why are you mad at me, babe? I'm just trying to get you to understand me. And I get it.
Because I understand you, and I'm trying to help you fix it, but you don't want me to help you fix it. I don't want to bitch about shit. Same thing all over and over again every day.
Yeah, we just want to bitch sometimes. Sometimes you just want to bitch. It's in our nature. Like, come on.
Right, so don't get mad at us when we can't really listen that well. We just kind of zone out because it's the same bitching all the time.
Hey, whoa.
Wait.
Let's take it a step further.
Babe, you there?
Hey, here's the question. I'm going to take it a step further. So why can they handle themselves for 8 hours straight at work? No bitching.
Oh, damn. Here we go.
I disagree with that because there are moments where they bitch. I'm going to tell you right now, I work in healthcare. And when I get into that mood where I need to bitch, I'm going to go into a corner or I'm going to call my closest coworker and pull her aside and be like, bitch.
Can you go into the corner at home instead of bitching to us? Would that work? Can you go in the corner at home? I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I'm just joking.
And now, every time I have a problem, I'm calling you, Nick. I have a bit
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
shit.
just want you to listen and don't zone out.
I can do that for you. Well, no, I will zone out, but I'll act like I'm listening.
No, hey, listen, let me tell you guys.
At
least you're honest with me.
I want to be honest with the
I will always
fellas.
shoot you
Since
straight.
this is for the guys. When you get into that situation where maybe you're playing the boss on the video game, your headphones is on, and she comes and she just wants to fucking talk. You know what I'm saying? When you get into one of these
Please no.
situations.
What do you mean? You're focused. That's the best part. Yeah, Nick part 2. Don't worry, girl. I'm gonna have a whole series of ass.
A sequel.
Listen, here's
But
the
no,
advice though.
but I
Here's the
feel
Uh,
like
advice,
we
fellas.
can see
Take the
that you are
advice.
focused. You're
When you
focused.
get into
So
that
this is an
situation.
opportunity for you to switch that focus on me for a second.
No.
Oh, yo, come on.
No.
oh
Hell no.
shit.
Hell no.
Here we go.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Wait.
No. Hell
That is
no.
Is
not
that
the
so
advice,
hard?
fellas.
I'ma
Is
tell
that so
you.
hard? Just
Yeah,
Is
no.
that
please
so
now.
hard
No.
to say?
Focus.
Hell
Yeah, babe,
no.
what's
No.
up?
No.
You look
No.
mad.
No. I'm gonna tell you because I don't have to get on my wife about this before. So I do music, so she knows I'm in the zone on doing what I'm doing. She waits specifically to when I'm doing something to say, babe, I want to talk. Now I'm like, no.
Because she's testing you, like Nikki just said.
No.
Nikki just said it.
What?
She admitted it. Like, I want you to give me
No.
your
And
attention when
you know
you're
what
He's like,
tell her?
I
preoccupied.
want
And you know
To
what
prove
I
how
tell
Hold
important I
on,
am.
hold
that
on.
I'm
You put
more
words in my
important
mouth.
than your music.
I
and
said
you
you
know
look
what I
focused. You look
So
focused.
give me that focus that you're giving to that thing to prove how
and you
important I
know
am to you, right? That's
I
what you're
need to be
saying.
more important than your game. And if you could focus on
Okay, so
that,
that's a shit test. That's what
focus
you
on
call a
me.
shit test.
and you know
And
what
that's
I
what your
tell
wife
her?
did to
You
you.
know
She's
what
shit testing you.
and you know what I tell her? I tell her,
Are
look,
you a shitty
leave it.
person?
No, I don't tell her she's a
I
shitty
love
person.
this
I
shit.
Yeah,
tell,
This
hey,
is
exactly.
the
look, I love
truth
you.
right
I
here.
love you, but you need to go over there and I'll get to you when I'm done with this. Like, and she gets mad with me, but I'm like, look, you don't wait.
Because
When
why
I'm
is your
doing
game more
something.
important? Does your game give you pussy, sir? No, it does not. I do.
Okay,
So focus.
it'll be all right. It'll
Why
be
are
okay.
you the most
It'll be
important thing all
okay.
the time
It'll
instead of
be
what the
okay.
man's doing?
I love you,
Guess what?
Nikki.
Guess what? She gonna give in before I do, because I could go without it. I'll go without it.
Yeah.
I'll go without it.
Yeah, when you're done that
He's
game,
like,
when you're done that video game and you go in the room and she hands you the lotion and the tissue and says, "Have a good night."
Oh, and I'll be, look, I'm like Patrice O'Neal. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll be satisfied with that.
Not nigga.
At least
Not
I'll be
nigga.
satisfied with that.
I'm done with you, motherfuckers. I'm done with you guys
Cause
today.
guess
I'm
what?
done.
Guess
I'm
what?
done with you guys today.
You're gonna be more mad about it than me. You're gonna be more mad about it than me.
He's like, I'm just fine jerking off. I jerk off every day. I'm a man. I don't get pussy like that all the time. I'll hold out longer than you, lady.
Nobody's having sex on a daily like that. You lucky to have it 3 times a week. How much people work now?
You crack me
Wait a
up, bro.
second. Did you just tell me 3 times a week?
I said you're lucky if 2 people are working all the time. You're lucky if they're doing it 3 times a week, especially if they got.
You're right. When
If
they
they're
settle into
working all
that,
the
yeah.
time, that is true.
And they've been dating a while. Yeah, they settle into about 3 if you're lucky.
You're lucky if you're doing that.
I'm gonna say
You
this.
got a
Listen.
child, so you know that.
I'm gonna say this. So as far as my advice for the guys, I want to get back to that. When that happens to you, you want to take yourself into the place in our mind that no woman has. This is facts, guys. It's called the nothing box. And inside of the nothing box, you don't want to be completely inside. You want to be about 80% inside the nothing box. And another 20%, you're alleviating to trigger words, pauses in the things that she's saying. So you can say things like, uh-huh, yeah, facts, and stuff like that.
Yes.
And after
Are
a
these
while,
are these the
it will
trigger
be
words?
over.
The multiverse.
After a while, it will be over, and you can refocus that 20% back onto that 80%, 100% back into your purpose.
I like that advice, man. Young men, I'd be taking notes if I were you out there.
Yeah. Yes. Take some
See,
notes.
but
Hey, as a female, I can't be mad at that because at least it'll shut me up from like, I'll be like, yeah, babe, and he'd be like, okay, yeah, and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, the only
wouldn't
time
understand.
that bites you in the ass is when she all of a sudden you hear like a rise in her voice and you realize she just asked me a question. Oh shit. What was she saying? And you can't give a yes or no, so you got to figure out a way to get out of that.
So Nick,
That's
this
what
is
I
why
do.
you
I don't
don't
even-
zone
I
out,
don't even
sir.
do it.
That's
I
all I'm
don't
gonna
even
say. And this is why you don't zone out because then she's been asking
No,
you
that's what
questions.
Trey was
you'll be
saying.
like,
You're zoning out. The nothing box is
yeah,
zoning out.
I don't even do that
more or
no
less.
more. I don't even do that no more. See, and the thing is, and this is the reason why I say that, because if you start doing that, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep right on doing it.
Right.
So the thing is,
That's a great point.
like, so the thing is, I give her a balance. Like, I try not to be so focused on like doing my music so much. I block out time for her. I block out time and I let her know what's going on. Like, look, I'm about to start doing this, and that. You need anything from me before I start doing this?
All right, look, so what about this? Watch this. I'm going to get specific right here. So what about the times when you are in deep mental thought? You think about an issue, thinking about how to solve it complexly. You know, you might be in the car driving, she's in the passenger seat. It's the moment is coming, you know, it's a heated, you know, those moments come from time to time. You got to get some shit done.
Right.
And, you know, she asks you, are you okay? Of course you say yes. And you get back to your thoughts while you're driving to, you know, you got to pay attention to the road, all that shit. And then
it's not a lie.
And then
It's
she wants
are you
to
okay?
make sure,
Mentally, you're not okay. So why would you say yes?
I'm working through it myself right now, so Hunt,
that
I'm okay.
you're okay. So this is what girls do when they make sure that other women are okay. I'm gonna tell you, this is what they do. They do what I call checking the temperature. What they do is they'll say something that has nothing to do with right now in order to spark a giggle-like conversation, in order to make sure that you're still here on that level.
The awkward, funny, let's kind of lighten the situation.
And when they
if you don't
try
laugh
to do
or
it
anything,
to
she'll
you
see
in
that
that
you're
moment,
tied up.
Ooh, that they talking about some other you're focused. You know how it is. I'm gonna tell you, for men to really multitask, it is a task.
Yeah, we're not good at that. Prioritize one at a time.
Tell you. So a lot of the things I had to learn how to compartmentalize what I divulge to her, because the thing is, women can't handle everything, and my wife had to learn this the hard way. So it was things that we were handling, like we were managing, like a lot of stuff going on. It was like a whole lot going on, bills and all this other stuff that we had to pay. So she kept trying to ask me about everything that was going on, and she wanted to try to, like, I told her pretty much I had everything taken care of. Well, I want to do something, and so then she pretty much was making a big deal out of it. I said, you know what? I'll let you handle everything then. So I threw it on her, and then I let her do it because she wanted to do it. So at that point, she started getting overwhelmed because she was like, she talking about, well, I just wanted to, I felt like you were doing everything and I wasn't helping you. And I told her, I said, look, I don't tell you everything because I know that emotionally you can't handle it all the time. So I try to pick and choose when I tell you and what I tell you.
That's my role as a man, to shield you from these kind of things and not have to worry your sweet, pretty little head.
Yeah, but do you guys, okay, so here's a female perspective. If you're not telling us, see how that spirals down, where he's like, okay, I need to focus on what's in my head. And I turned to you and I said, baby, you okay? Yeah. You didn't say, I'm fine, I'm just focused, so we can let it go. You just said, yeah. And to us, we see that you don't look okay. So I'm now gonna, instead of probing to try to get in there, I'm gonna try to make a kiki joke or try to get your mind off of it, because that's what we do. We love you, we care.
Yeah, but if we needed that help, we'd probably ask, because we're pretty direct. So like you should just respect the man if he says that, if you ask me, unless he's giving you reason to not trust him, in which case he probably shouldn't be your man. But if he says that, just rest assured, like my dad, he spares my mom of so many things that would stress her out because he loves her, and he does it like selflessly. Like he just does it, and she doesn't even know how much shit he does for her sometimes.
That's a lot of stress on you that you don't necessarily need to burden by yourself.
No, you don't need the burdens. So, we can handle the burden. We were built for handle these burdens. We're men.
Y'all was built for no burden. We were built for all burden.
You guys don't want to know some of the shit men got to deal with.
So
just let us deal with it.
I guess the thing is, what I do tell her, I like, look, I'm just thinking about some stuff. If I need you, then I'll let you know. Like, I'm not, it's nothing against you. I'm just trying to work
even saying that is fine. Then you just saying, yo, I'm fine. But we well know that something's wrong.
So,
but babe, if I need your help, I'll let you know. I don't want to really talk about it or explain it at all right now. Just when I say, okay, yeah, I'm okay, please take that as face value.
Because
you know,
the reason why
that's kind of what it is.
Why I approach it that way.
I like how that sounds.
because
I know,
when
right? It's that call to
I've been
children.
through this a couple times, bro. This ain't my first
But
rodeo.
even when I approached it that way, right, and I kind of started trying to like open up to her about some things, it was sometimes either she wasn't listening or it was too much for her to handle.
And it makes it worse, dude. It complicates the relationship. It's not. Just let the man do his job and his role. Women don't need that burden. They don't do well with handle. They think they're gonna do good by learning more. That's not true. In fact, it can make if you're too vulnerable with your woman, she's going to start to see you less attractive. That's a fact, in my opinion. They want a strong, stoic man that's a provider and protector that is open with her emotionally and all that, but not freaking vulnerable, crying and all. Imagine like if you had a man that you come home and he's just bawling, crying like a woman all the time. You wouldn't be attracted to that.
Having a meltdown.
Tell me you would. Tell me you would.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be like, nigga, you good? Should we get you some help?
And he's like, no, I'm not. I just had the worst day at work today. You wouldn't fucking believe
Did
it.
somebody die at work on why we're
You
bowling
don't
like
want that
this?
shit.
Like, I'm confused. Are you?
Having a
Did you lose your
whole
penis on your
meltdown.
way into the house?
There you go. Did you lose your penis? See, so you're not attracted to that, right?
But I personally am not attracted to that type of man. I know.
No woman is.
I
That's
know
not
that
attractive.
I don't want my man to use my boobs as a tear pillow and to sit there and
There you
cry
go.
on my. I need to use his chest somewhere for me to cry. But at the
I
same
want to
time,
use your boobs for a lot of things,
I
but
don't
it's
want
not
him
a tear
to feel
pillow.
like he can't sit down and talk to me. To be like, yo, babe,
Those
I
boobs
don't
are going to
want
be
this.
used a lot, but not for a tear pillow.
Huh?
I'm going to use those boobs in a lot of ways, but not
There
for
you
tear
go.
pillows.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, and you can't. And it's like, I want my man to come home to me and be like, yo, I had a shitty day and vent. But don't be me. Don't be me.
That's a hard line for men to walk, so we just turn it off usually.
So you know where Nikki beforehand. That's why I speak a lot towards men having emotional control and critical thinking, because emotional intelligence. Because you'll understand when you need to do those things when you do them. It's harder to work through those
Good
things
point.
in a relationship because you're in the relationship and you already don't understand how to do stuff, how to be in a relationship as an adult. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't understand how because if I told my wife this, if both of us are having meltdowns, then the whole ship gonna sink. So,
Exactly. One of us has to be steady.
No, seriously, you're
One
right.
of us has to be steady.
You're right. And for what Pretty Chin just said, oh, hey, little papa, men don't know their roles. That's the problem. And I feel like there's been such.
Sounds like a feminist.
Huh?
Sounds like a feminist.
I would
Hold
agree.
on. Pump the brakes. Because
I got her. I offended somebody here.
listen,
What did I say?
I'm about to rumble with you guys today.
What did I say?
I'm joking.
Feminist?
What I'm
You don't
saying
like
is
that?
like not feminist. I kind of agree with that. Where the blending of roles. Again, the fact that we are able to do jobs that men can do, there's now a blending of roles and a misunderstanding of a male roles in a relationship and life versus a female's role in a relationship and life. Just because I can go out and work a construction job just like a man doesn't mean that A, I do it as good as a man or better than him, and B, it does not mean that I need to go home and act like the macho man I was in the construction place.
Don't do
But
that.
this is the problem. This is where roles get blended, and that's why nowadays we're looking at men like, yo, these men don't even know how to be men. And men are looking at us like, yo, can you guys bring your balls back inside?
Well, exactly. Can you let us be men? Yeah.
And this is where the blend. This is where that equality, f's up.
But
point.
you think about it too, though. That's because a lot of people don't have the example anymore. You get what I'm saying? They don't have an example right there in front of them.
Great point.
Because I know I didn't. So it took me a while to get to the point where I am, where I had an understanding on what it is. Because people only understand extremes now. Think about it. Like you can only either be a feminist or a misogynist. You can't be in between. You can't hold 2 points.
I disagree. I feel like I'm in between.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you, Nick.
She's purple pill.
I'm saying in general. Like you said that you're having a conversation with us without it being a difficult conversation, and just like the other day when we were on Miss Tina's live, we had a conversation, but there's a bunch of people that don't know that speak in absolutes and don't know how to allow change in life, relationship, and conversation.
Because we've given society the ability to think that everybody is right, everybody's opinion is right, and everybody's thoughts are correct, and that we
Or valid
yeah,
at least. Valid at
valid.
least.
That's the
Yeah,
word
they
I
always
should
do
use.
that.
That everybody's opinion's valid, everybody's thoughts are valid, and that you can say certain things and do certain things, and as long as you have an example, like a reason for it, we're gonna validate it and we're gonna allow it. And you,
It's they feel that way is the
yeah,
reason. And by the way, a lot of the times,
Is someone
feeling is
named
not
it's
Angus
validation.
not.
trying to
Like
get in here?
unfortunately,
I want to drop one of y'all volunteer
Okay.
to drop so I can
It's
get
okay.
this
I have to
Angus
go back to
question
work
in
before they fire me, so I'll be back.
here. All right,
All right, Nikki.
y'all go
see you, Nick.
follow Nikki. Come on here, Angus.
Nobody give Nikki my number. She's gonna be blowing me up all the time. That's that feeling.
Facts. Big facts.
No,
Oh
she's a cool
man.
girl. I like her a lot. She's
Yeah,
cool.
Hell
Nikki's
yeah.
cool.
She's
Yeah.
a good sport.
Oh, what's good, bro?
How are you?
Fine. What do you want to add in?
Hey?
What brought you into the conversation?
Oh, I just wanted to say good hey.
Okay, hey.
Yeah, how are you?
I don't want to like say.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
all right then.
So this was a waste of time. Do you
Yeah.
speak English?
Nah, I speak French.
But you just spoke English to tell me that
Speaking
you speak
beta.
French.
Yeah, I speak French.
And English, apparently.
Nah, just
Do you speak troll?
do I speak what?
He said,
Troll?
"Go speak what?"
You're trolling us right now, bro. You're trolling us, boss.
That's right.
And you don't have to at all.
That's good.
All right, man. Well, we're being pretty cool with you, but you seem not to really want to have a good faith, fun conversation with us. So maybe we'll let you go unless you want to redeem yourself or say something else.
No, I'm good.
Nah, you're not really right now being that good with us, but that's cool.
Get this cocksucker out of here.
Yo,
Come on, man.
what
Hell
the
yeah. Give him the boot. Regulate that
This
shit.
cocksucker out of
What
here.
the? What
The hell?
Yo,
What do you think
but
this is?
it goes to the conversation that we're having, because it goes to entitlement. The internet has made everyone feel like that someone's an option that they're not. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like just because you have access to someone, and you have them as a friend or you follow them on social media, does not mean you have access to that person or you know them for that matter.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
So people just feel really entitled to people's time because look at how mad people get if someone don't respond to their comment at times. I've seen people like ready to like go off on people. Like I had it happen to me. Like I was on live one day with a couple of guys that rap and whatnot, and this one girl from she was from
Yeah, I
from
want
the UK.
to know what the new guest wants to add
Oh,
in.
Bunny. What's
Yeah,
up,
I'm not
Bunny?
gonna. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm not gonna cause trouble this time. We're not gonna have any theological conversation.
No, Bunny, that was fun. That was a
It
fun
wa- it
conversation.
it was fun. She just couldn't take it. That's
So what do
all.
you have to add on what we've been talking about? Have you been listening to anything?
Well, yeah, I've been commenting the whole time. I think it's pretty interesting, and like Nikki said, I do like the fact how you guys have the conversation and you don't speak in absolutes. Like you guys speak in, it's still a bit general. You make it be known that it's not everybody. It's not an everybody thing.
Facts.
Yeah, we are generalizing a bit to just make some productive observations, I guess I would say but that's not to fit, one size doesn't fit all, and there's certainly outliers in everything we do, but generalizations is a way to like at least have some semblance of a conversation
Right.
about it that's productive. You know what I
Well, we
mean?
don't know
Yeah.
people personally, so you can't, like, we only can generalize because we don't know a lot of people personally.
Right. We don't know everybody, so of course there's going to be outliers and stuff, but we got to speak on generalities.
Yeah,
Right.
because there are some people that have these sort of discussions when it comes to like male and female things and relationships, and they speak in absolutes and they go hard into it, and it kind of, I feel like the understanding, that's when the understanding is kind of blocked out or taken out. It's like when you speak in absolutes and you don't accept any other new information that is brought to you.
That's a conversation killer for sure. If you're going to just be an absolutist, you know?
It is.
No, because nothing in life is absolute. You know, life is ever changing. So if
The only absolute is death.
yeah, you know you're
True.
gonna leave the planet.
Yeah. Fact. Whole time though, and in lieu of the whole discussion, I just feel as though us as men, we have to start looking at ourselves as living in a separate world than women when it comes to mentally. Not physically,
Okay,
living
yeah.
on the same physical plane. But because of the
Can you
way
expand on that, bro?
that things are set up for women versus how they are set up for men and our systems and society, it's kind of like a college town. You ever notice when you go to a college town, you go to the college and it's one world, and then you go to the city and it's a whole nother world. Same town. You know? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And we need to focus more on our world. That's what our world has crumbled to the point where we have to, some of us have to submit to their world. That's how far back our
Damn.
world is
Yeah.
now. Their world is developing at a fast pace. Some of us jump ship.
Okay, so how do we apply like that tenet in practice? Like, you got any suggestions for young men out there maybe to avoid those kind of
Yes,
pitfalls?
the number one thing that you never want to do. This is the mistake of men. Young men, please do not submit to a woman's ideal of who you are. Be who you are. As soon as you do that, you run the risk of lying and becoming a non-integral man.
Which if she will find unattractive and leave your ass.
Exactly.
If she can change you, she'll subconsciously think of you as weak because she's able to change you, and she's unattractive
But
to you
you're not
anymore.
being
She might not leave you, but she'll
offer
step
Eve.
out on you. She won't fuck you like she used to.
Don't bite the apple, Adam. Don't do it.
Yeah, you got to be your own man. If you got to stand on your fucking
But you're
square,
not being
like,
genuine.
you can't let them knock you off
But
of
you're
it.
not being genuine with yourself if you're changing for another person. Like if you're willing to
Exactly.
change.
Well, that's what they sense.
Yeah.
She
Because if
senses that, and when she
It's
can do
going
that
to
to
come
you.
out sooner
Yeah.
or later. You can change right now, but who you are is
Yo.
who you are.
Hey,
And be who you are, and don't be ashamed. If she don't want to talk to you, give you no butt, go and use that lotion like Quail said. That's your superpower. Fuck that.
yeah, bro. Hey, on that note, controversial statement here, and I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get anything but negative from the ladies out there. In my experience, this is just my lived reality, so if it doesn't jive with yours, I'm not saying it's everything. Men seem to typically accept the woman that they choose to date more or less as is. They don't really seem to try to change her much or anything like that drastically. Women, in my experience, including my mother and my sister, who I love to death, all try to change men drastically. And they'll use manipulation tactics and pressure tactics to like marry them quicker or get a better job, whatever it may be. They're
They
always
use
seemingly
sex.
looking at men as a project.
Let me tell you, men.
Oh, sex is their
use
best
our
weapon. Sex as a weapon.
resources and what we are able to provide, and some of us with our looks. Women
Sex is their master weapon.
Women use sex. That's it.
That's their master weapon. That's their go-to, man. And that's why you can't give it that power. You can't pedestalize it because they will fucking run you
But-
everywhere and do the
But
stupidest
this
shit.
is something that I told my wife. I was like, you have to. I said, don't put so much into me that you can't function if I'm gone. So you shouldn't. I don't, because I don't believe in the whole falling in love paradigm. I believe you can love someone, but I don't believe in falling in love, because I feel like that's you worshiping a person. So I feel like that you should accept a person. Like, if you get with that person, you should expect them to be who they are and expect them not to change. You know what I'm saying?
It's not fair to expect them to change, especially if you didn't tell them that outright out front.
Exactly.
Yo,
If you're going into it to change them in ways that they don't even know you're trying to change them in, that's fucked up, ladies.
yo, look at the pinned comment. She said, we're fixers. We want to fix something. It gives us purpose.
Fix me dinner. Fix me dinner. How about that?
Yo, I like this guy, man. Yo, what's your name, man?
I'm Nick.
Okay.
Yo, they
I'm
hate
Quill.
shit like that, though, bro.
I'm Quill. So I love my guy.
I don't
Hey,
give a
listen,
shit.
my question
Because guess what?
Here's my question. Here's a good question. Why is that a bad stigma when you say, "Can you
Right?
fix me something to eat"?
So
They said they're
it's
fixers.
not-
Fix
it's
my
not-
empty
it's
stomach.
not-
Fix my
it's
empty
not
stomach.
that.
That's what I need. I don't need you
No,
fixing my
I know.
person.
I
I
don't
need you.
look at it as something that's bad, but why do you think women? Because that's a part of their purpose, as she says, and so why do you think women have this look down upon other women who serve men?
Because they're not chosen. That's the only reason why, honestly.
I was just going to say, because misery loves
They're
company.
not chosen. So,
Okay.
because
Misery loves company, man. They don't want the other women to get good guys that they're not
If you
getting,
see- if you
especially
see this
older
dude
women.
out here-
That's their competition, younger women. So they give them bad advice and shit all the time.
see this-
If you watch it, it's a fucking cutthroat world out there for women on
if you see
women.
a guy out here and he got all these women, and he's this fat, short guy, wear all these rings on his finger, and then he don't look desirable at all, but he has all these women around him, and then you'll have guys that still rag on that guy, saying like, oh, look at that short midget, look at that leprechaun, talking about him. He's still winning, So people do it regardless. Everyone does it. But yeah, women definitely, because they're not chosen. That's the easy answer to say, is because they don't have someone in the service of their own. So they're going to be looking at the other girl like, damn, look at this fucking subservient bitch. But then they want to be that subservient bitch too.
You're right. Deep down inside, that's actually what they're jealous and envious of. Yeah, here's the thing. Women oftentimes don't want to acknowledge that being in the presence of a powerful, dare I say, dominant leading man is actually a major psychological, sexual, unavoidable attraction that they have deep down inside. And they'll never tell you, but in places where they fucking privately go, when you have one with you, by the way, that sees you as that man, you can do whatever the fuck you want to these women. I'm going to just say that, guys. They'll let you do whatever the fuck you want if they see you that way, because they want to be dominated by a man that they feel is an alpha.
Well, I see.
It's sexual
I don't think
evolution.
it's the dominating part. That at least I don't think it's the dominating part. I just think that women love to not have to worry. That's it. And Mike Rashid, he says like this thing where if you got all your ducks in a line, if a woman doesn't have to look over your shoulder to make sure everything is good, she's just going to fall in line automatically.
Yeah.
You don't agree with the dominant part necessarily? You think that that's maybe a little too far?
Yeah, I don't think it's like a dominant. Yeah, I don't think it's like a dominant part, because if you have systems put into place, you won't have to assert some sort of dominance. Like if you are,
You're saying
fulfilling all the
security.
needs.
You're
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
she's looking for security because she wants to know that you know where the hell you're going. Like
When I say dominance, I just meant like sexually. They want a man that takes what he wants and ravages them and shit in the bedroom.
course.
Deep down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yo,
Be submissive to him.
hold on. We throw around the word alpha a lot. We throw that around a lot.
When I say alpha,
Yeah.
I mean in her hypergamous nature, the most socially hierarchical man that she's able to come across.
So what I'm saying is that when the word alpha is based off of other people around that person, like people are drawn to an alpha based off of based off
Yes,
his
that's what I meant. Social level.
right, based off his influence. It's not necessarily somebody that's aggressive or someone that's trying to dominate anybody. that person will protect.
It's a man who gets what he
Right,
wants.
exactly.
Because usually
He takes what he wants.
the alpha doesn't have to exert his dominance physically.
His dominance,
Usually it's
right.
the beta is the one that
Right.
goes out and
I'm not trying to say that you take what you want against their will. I'm saying that
Mhm.
in their mind, you're perceived as a man who gets what he wants in this world, takes what he wants in this world, and wants her.
Yeah.
It's really hot to them. I'm telling you, man. I mean, in my
No,
experience, they won't tell you
but
this out loud. They
I
won't
wanted,
get
I
mad at me
wanted,
in the comments right now, but this is sexual
but I
evolution
wanted,
101.
I wanted to clarify that because a lot of people throw that word around and they're like, I'm alpha, and they only associate it with dominance. But when you actually study it, it has almost nothing to do with dominance. That the power is based off of the social environment.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this. It has something to do with dominance, but it's a type of dominance, and it is dominance in
That's what I'm
which
trying to say.
it's what competence. That's what it is. So the more competent a person is, the more dominant he is.
Mm-hmm.
But he has
so,
control. That means he'll have control over something.
Yeah, the more competent you are, the more control you have over reality.
Mhm.
Right, you control the world around you, and women find that very attractive because you're stabilizing everything. It's survival,
But
evolution.
don't you guys
That's what it is.
also think it's also a more energetic thing? Like, because when you're in high school and you're hanging out with your boys, the alpha of that group may not be the one that is the most
Fit,
smartest in the group, but
right?
energetically, everyone falls in line to look to him
Based
like
off his. Mhm.
based off of like just
It's
that.
a multitude of
Yeah,
factors.
exactly.
It's a multitude of factors, I would say, including like how well he leads social groups, how much he's respected, how much money he makes. That is a factor. His potential, his ambition, his there's charisma. There's a lot of factors
All
in
of
for
that
women.
depends
Men are
on
much
his
more
competence,
simple.
bro.
Women have a lot of factors. Yeah, it's not a mathematical equation necessarily, but it is in line with the hypergamous nature of women, which
Yeah.
is a well understood psychological phenomenon that says they date equal and above their economic social class.
Yeah.
Men date equal and below.
But
So women
check
are
this
always
one out.
looking to get
I'm gonna
up.
give you a dilemma for women. So when women go out dating and trying to find a guy, a lot of guys, a whole lot of guys, I've been guilty of this too, will pretend as if it could be something long term, right up until they give us some pussy.
Right.
So they have this dilemma when they go out to where they have no clue
If
on,
somebody's really serious about what they're telling them.
yeah. It's just like when you get pulled over by the police and the cop is white and you don't know if he's racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you start getting a little skeptical. Yeah, you got to be discerning and careful and read them.
Yeah, but even up until he can be nice to you up until the point where he shows his real self.
Good point, man. So that's why they're the gatekeepers, and that's why you have books like Steve Harvey suggesting that they should wait 3 months, 90 days, and stuff.
I don't know
before
why
giving them
anybody
sex.
taking that guy serious. He was
I was
already.
just gonna
he
say
was
that guy's a
already.
beta. He's a loser. I would not
Like,
take any
who's
advice
taking-
on him, ladies.
who's
And that's way
listening
too
to
long
Steve
to make a
Harvey?
man wait
He was-
if he's paying for dates.
But
He
so
was-
here's the question: how long are they supposed to wait to fuck us before? Because I've seen men wait for years, right?
Exactly.
Play the
So
front
Women
row.
know if they want to fuck you the first date. Women know that already. Okay, they're just holding it in terms so that for these reasons they can determine if you're a man that's gonna like run on them
So
or
can
not.
we blame them
Within
for
3
using
dates,
sex to manipulate us?
I don't blame them. I blame the men for allowing it.
Okay.
wait, so but
I don't hate them. I don't hate them at all. That's
so
the
how
game.
would-
I
so
call
what
them
would
on it.
you so
It's
what would you
fun.
do if you came across a girl that ended up telling you that like I don't have sex on the first day. Actually, I operate under the 90-day rule. What would you tell her?
I would say, okay, that's nice knowing you. Good luck with that. No man should have to wait that long if he's taking you,
Nah,
paying you on dates
most
and all
men,
that shit.
they're
That's
gonna be like,
ridiculous.
oh really? Oh yeah, I operate with the 90-day rule too.
Exactly. Most men will not tell her the truth. They'll
Yeah.
play some game, waiting to try to get some ass. That's not me. I'm gonna say no, thank you. Nice knowing you. I'm glad you told me that up front. I'll see you later. because I have the 90 seconds rule. So let's meet somewhere in the
Oh
middle.
my
But I guess
God.
you think about it, people. But I guess that's what dudes got to realize. Like nobody
I
can
love
waste
this
your time.
guy.
Yeah, I like Nick, man. This dude's cool. But nobody can waste your time but you, because you're the one who allows someone to waste your time. So if
Right.
if you're waiting that long, that's your fault. You can't get mad with that woman.
Yeah.
You can't get mad because
Huh.
because you decided to wait. You decided to wait.
Yeah. That's your fault. She got. Hey,
Bro, guys
more
don't
power
mind
to her.
waiting,
I'm
bro.
not hating on them at all.
Men be waiting in the
Everybody
wings
has the right.
But
for
they don't
years.
mind waiting. But
But
You're
there's
right,
some
bro.
niggas that's
Friend
waiting for
zoned
you
all
and
day.
your wife's marriage to fail right now.
and I get it, and I get it. But that's a loser mentality. That's a loser.
Yeah, friend zone mentality. That's
That's
friend
a
zone
loser
right there.
mentality. Because I've been there. I've been iced out, and I thought being a nice guy and waiting it out was going to get me stuff, but it didn't. It didn't get me anywhere. It got me a whole bunch of heartache.
Yep. And guess what? She's fucking the other guys that are being dicks to her the whole time. You're like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
But this is the
I wasn't
thing.
big.
The friend zone isn't innately a bad thing, honestly. Because just like the girl that spoke yesterday on the live that we was on, the Kel,
Mhm.
that guy was her friend, and they got drunk, and they ended up having sex, and then he was in the friend zone, and he wasn't. Neither of
So,
them
buddy,
wanted
hold
each
on.
other.
So we gonna use the small minority of situations to compare to the hundreds
No,
upon
because
hundreds. Yeah.
but remember, there's
Yeah.
two guys that are in the friend zone. Okay,
Uh-huh.
there's the guy that's in the friend zone plotting and waiting to pounce when she's at her most vulnerable, and there's guys that are just like, if it happens, it happens. I don't think
Yeah.
that it's a bad thing to be in it. Now, you have to decide which guy you are. Are you the guy that's going to sit there and plot and wait and to manipulate her? Where she's at her lowest, you're able to pounce, or are you just going to allow it to happen? Because it's going to happen regardless if she likes you in that manner. And if you like you
Yeah.
said, you already like girls
So,
already know if they like you or not. If they're gonna
I'm
fuck
just
you.
right.
Hmm?
So I guess
So
I
yeah.
guess the only thing I was saying that I'm not saying it's bad, but you got so many people that think that's a viable plan. But if you're gonna be patient,
That's their only option. Those guys have no game. They have no other chance.
yeah.
So they typically just,
That's a lot. That's
I'll wait in the
most
friend zone
men.
and hope she throws me some ass at some
Most
point.
men wouldn't typically have the chance to have sex with her because she's bad as fuck and she can get any man.
Yep.
So, since they know this, they'll pander to her until she gives them what they want.
But that's the plotting one. That's the one that plots. The one that sits there and wait for her because it's a whole. They have game. It's a lazy game. That's a form of
Yeah.
game. It's lazy.
True.
You're sitting there.
That is a game. I guess it is a game,
It
Matthew. Yeah,
is
you're
a form
right.
of game because you're still getting what you want at
You're
the end
right.
of the, or not, maybe not at the
It's
end
a
of the
weak ass
day.
beta male game, but it is game.
Exactly. It is a form of game, but it's lazy. It's extremely lazy. You're not actually going out there. You're not actually like putting yourself out there, and it actually shows that you are a little bit afraid yourself. Because when you want to play the friend role, it's okay to be a friend. Like it's safe to be a friend. But when you want to step into that field of actually being in a relationship or show that you actually like this person,
So
you gotta build up enough confidence to do that. Because a lot of guys, they don't have the confidence to tell a girl that they like them. They'll rather play that
Yep.
waiting game.
That's the problem, man. These friend zones not good. You gotta just make your intentions clear up front to these women, and they'll be more attracted to you. They all know that you want to fuck. Don't say you're just trying to be friends.
But that brings confusion too, Bunny, because it breeds confusion because I know a lot of people, a lot of dudes be like, oh, this is my sister, this is my friend, and they're really just being patient about trying to sleep with them, and then that's why it's hard. That's why it's hard for people to see men and women being friends because people have ulterior motives about doing that.
Because men want to smash them. If they took their pants off, they would.
Right?
Like why would you hang around with a female for an extensive period of time? Like, I'm real.
He's gonna get some heat for that. I know
Hear me
that.
out. This is some real stuff. There's
I'm
so
with you, bro.
little
100%
that
with
we
you, by the way.
have in common for real.
Nah,
Unless-
yeah, I can't.
So y'all never studied y'all enemy before, or let's not call it an enemy, but y'all never.
Yes, he's gonna get some heat too.
So y'all never have actually sat there and studied your enemy, and it says like keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. So it's like that
Mhm.
person, if we consider a relationship like a war or some sort of battle, you got to study your opponent. So you should have
Love it.
women friends so you can know how they actually really think. Because that girl is going to vent to you. Now you may
But
not like her. I'm not saying be friends with girls that you like because
But
that's where guys get it fucked up. They become
but
friends.
let me throw a twist on that.
mhm.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. I
No,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say that I don't look at relationships as war. Like I'm not in a war with my
Yeah.
wife. Like no, it's not war. It's not war because guess what? At the end of
He said, yes, it
Well,
is.
no,
it's not.
because
Mhm.
you married her. You won the war. You married
So
her.
Oh,
You
shit.
won.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. When I got with my wife, how I got with her wasn't the way that everybody else did it. I talked to
Hmm.
my wife. I had conversations with her. I've had very little fights with her. Like if we had disagreements, we've always had a good civil way of being able to actually deal with our problems
Hmm.
because we laid everything up front. So that's why I said it wasn't a war for us because she told me everything up front and I told her everything up front.
So.
Hey, real quick, can I interject
Hmm.
just this
Yeah.
comment? This account with giant titties is saying he thinks everything is sex driven. You can't make this shit up, folks. Are you fucking kidding me? You're trolling me with a shot of your cleavage as your profile picture?
I
Amazing.
know him. He's not.
Oh, that's a him? Now it makes sense. Okay. Okay. Go on, guys. Sorry. I look
He has like
at
multiple. He has multiple wives.
Well, then you tell me, is everything sex driven? You're banging a bunch of broads. Yeah.
That's actually one of
It
his
probably is.
wives.
What'd you say? You were cutting out a little bit.
The tits that you see on his thing, that's actually one of his wives.
Thank you for giving us a show, bro. I appreciate that. Letting us oogle your wife a little bit. That's cool, man. More respect. Nah, for real though, gentlemen, what were we talking
No,
about? I didn't mean
no,
to
no.
interrupt.
I guess he was just saying. I was just saying that whenever I got with my wife, it wasn't a thing of war. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing of we already came together with the understanding that that's what because when we first started talking, we were just having sex. We were just having sex, like up front. Like I knew she had other people, and she knew that I was talking to other people. And I slowly I just started talking to her, only her, because her conversation was better than anybody else's conversation that I was having.
Hey, you guys, I'm about to hop down real fast.
Okay.
I got a quick little meeting with my manager real fast, but
Your manager, right? He's got a booty call, folks. Who we kidding?
All right, buddy.
Get him, bro. Get him
you see
done.
this? You see this
Nice meeting
beautiful
you.
woman right here? This beautiful woman.
Ooh, you ain't lying. That
That's
is
my
pretty.
manager. Wait, no. I'm about to
My man, look
I'm
at him
about to switch
go.
you over.
I was making a joke. He's for real.
Hold on.
Wrap that shit up,
No,
boss.
no. What are you talking about? First of all, I'm gay, so that ain't about to happen.
Dude, you know what, man? I don't ever want to make assumptions. I kind of thought, hopefully, maybe because your style's too good, but you play a good straight guy. I'll tell you that. You had me
I
fooled.
don't like that at all. I am a gay man, strictly dickly.
I was teasing you, bud. Like, I was just laughing at your jokes, like how like lewd you were being and stuff. Like you were, but then you're
Hey, wait.
Oh,
a very nice
Wait,
looking
because
man,
I'm a lewd
straight.
person. Period. I'm.
I like that about you,
Actually,
man.
why are
Mhm.
you attracted to men more than women?
Uh,
Oh, interesting question.
I like dick.
Like,
I like that. He said,
no,
I
no,
like
no.
that.
Only.
Fair
Let's
enough.
be specific. Hold on. It's what you like is a feeling that you're receiving. It's not actually the object.
Um, that object caused that feeling. Yeah.
See, what I'm saying is, there are.
If you've never been pegged before, I don't think you would like understand that. But since it's
But
easily
being pegged
since
and being gay is two different things.
yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got pegged by a guy earlier than me allowing a girl to do that. So maybe that's why I'm gay. Well, and also actually, you know
Hmm.
what? Also, I do feel like I'm extremely emotional and I would not be able to I can truthfully say that I can't deal with another feminine person, period. Like even feminine gay
Interesting.
man. Like I would not be able to deal with that honestly because we both can't be, emotional because it gets a bit much. And I don't know, I give props to you guys to deal with women's BS. I know as being a friend, when I listen to girls' issues and stuff like that, it gets a bit much. And if you're dealing with this at home all the time, yeah, I don't know why all
Yes,
y'all are
bro.
crazy. I like
You're making me want to flip teams, man.
no, don't do it, okay? We don't need
You're selling the gay side pretty
we don't
good.
need any
No
we
homo,
don't
ladies.
need
I'm just kidding. No
Yo,
homo.
we
I'm
don't need
joking.
any more of y'all over here, okay?
This guy's I like your style, bro. You're
No, but I'm
cool.
gonna hop back up. I just gotta speak to her real fast, all right?
okay. All right, you funny.
Yeah.
Yo, Nick, bro.
yo,
Hey, yo,
yo, I like Nick, man. Nick, yo,
Nick
yo,
is funny as shit, son.
yo, man. I like this guy, man. I like this guy.
Thank you, guys. I like you guys too. You're bringing this out of me, man. I ain't get to talk like this around men or people very much. You
Hey
know what I mean?
man,
I've had this
I
shit
think
inside
this
for
app
years.
really be revealing things to people about themselves. Hey, fucking, what's his name? Cult, CE Cult. Is that
Yes,
you?
sir.
Okay, that's it. Hold on. The other
C3
gentleman.
cult. Yep.
Yeah, that's you. I think you need to hop in that guy's DMs. I think you just found some things out about yourself that you didn't previously know, and you just
I tell you what, if being
live.
gay was a choice, that guy would be my first. He's a pretty cool gay guy.
Wow.
He's cool.
Wow. Well, I might have lost for words, gentlemen. Where were we? Where was this discussion prior to Nick's revelation?
Oh my God. I
No,
want
I,
to out like
It took one live for you to find yourself, and that's all I want to say. Your perception of the way women operate, paired with your response to that gay gentleman, and the way you just like ran
See, he
game
came
on
in
him.
hating on me about the
no,
gay
no, no,
thing
no.
It
because
was the
he's
banter that
emotionally
took
upset
place.
about what
I
I'm
don't
saying
have any
about women.
problem with
Listen to
that
this.
gentleman being himself. It was the banter that took place between y'all that was very
Yeah, that
insightful
was jokes,
as to
but
who you are.
that was jokes. But you're upset about my stance with women, I can tell, and now you're like slandering
No,
me
I'm not
because of
upset
that.
with your
Correct?
stance on women. I think that you have a very toxic and unhealthy perception of what women's desires are and the way that you should be operating as a man. I think that once you grow out of a
Okay.
certain rambunctious nature as a man, you realize that sex is like the back burner. Like good sex, yes, is relevant to sustaining a healthy relationship, but when you're pursuant of a mate or interactions, you're looking for some key factors. Good conversation, a good perception of the world around them and the way things operate.
Did I ever claim I was looking for that?
No. I didn't say you claimed you were looking for anything. You were specifying about what women want and the basis of what women just want a man who does this, and men are focused on this.
I didn't just say
Wait, let
just.
me come in real quick. It's a referee. All right, so look, fucking, I know exactly what Pierce is talking about because I know Pierce. I've talked to him before, and then
I know what he's talking about
I know
too. I think he's missing, or I didn't present myself well.
I know exactly. I've interacted with Nick as well, and I think there's a missing link in between them. I want to fill the gap right here. So, Nick is more like a Stephen Colbert, if that makes sense. He's very abrupt with his delivery and his words, and they might seem condescending at times because he's a little extreme, but he doesn't mean bad but because of this. This is just his style of, dialogue. And so,
to speak on that, I like to shoot people straight and cut out any of the frills because I appreciated that in my life when I would get it from people, and I don't do it because it's easy for me. I get a lot of blowback because of that, but sometimes telling people the truth is the right thing to do no matter how hard it is for you to do.
Okay, can I say something?
So
I
that's why
want
I've
to
been
give
trying
a
to do that.
very insightful perception. So my perception is that when certain people speak, they're sure of themselves. And when other people speak, they speak to gauge the response so that they can learn themselves. You, to me, stand out as one of those individuals who is using your peers and able to learn themselves. You don't fully comprehend yourself, and you utilize these arenas, which is a healthy construct. Don't get me wrong.
Are you saying you don't learn from
No,
others?
that's
Or
not.
are you
No,
implying that, like,
and you're misconstruing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I
brother,
feel
I'm
like
trying to understand. You're just like, kind of upset about me on your heels. I'm trying to ask in good faith.
I'm
I'm
not
not
upset at
upset with
all.
you.
You're the type of person who puts things out there to receive the response. I put things out there because I
I do
know
it to
the
joke.
answer.
I joke. I'm lighthearted. I don't
No,
take
no,
myself
but
very
what I'm saying
seriously. I
is
think
you
you
put
took me
it
more
out there to
seriously than I
receive
am.
the response. I put it out there because I know the answer. And so it's two different things that we're going at here. You're putting the question out there because you're trying to find the answer. I'm putting the question out there
No,
because I
no,
know
no.
the answer.
I know the answer, but I am fielding the response as well because, correct, I'm trying to help other people, so I do gauge their response. I do what you do, but I also care what other people think, so I'm fielding the answer as well, or the
But
response.
right there, we were talking. But the discussion was based on unhealthy, toxic traits for males, right? And we were getting into like some feminine.
Hang on. You're both talking.
Sorry, I was listening to you guys for like the better part of 45 minutes. You guys were discussing feminist or feminized behaviors in males, things like that. You were discussing a number of different topics, and you're
But still,
displaying some of the same traits
pass
that you're
judgment
speaking on,
to someone
which
who's
is ironic.
Okay.
it's
All right.
unreasonable, you know, for both of you to pass judgment on each other as men when you just met each other. You know
No,
what I'm
there's
saying?
Yeah, I'm trying
assessment.
to relax,
Trey,
man.
there's a difference. There's assessment. I'm assessing the situation. I'm not passing judgment because my personal
When you
perception of this
say you're
man's
the
life
type of
has
person,
no bearings on his life
when
whatsoever.
you say you're the type of person, that is a passing of judgment. Now, if you were to talk about only the situation and not him personally, then that would be assessing the situation.
Hey, fair statement.
My assessment is that you seem a little emotionally upset right now, but I'm not mad at you about it, and I might be wrong. That's just my assessment. So,
Stop it. They're having men talk
anyways.
right now, boy. Look, he's gonna just be having
Oh
a man
boy, he's
talk
calling me
too.
boy now. Now he's demeaning me, bro. Bro, why are you so aggressive and upset,
That
man? Just
wasn't
chill
even me.
out. We're
That's
trying to have
Trey
a good
talking
time.
to his child, bro. What are you talking about? I didn't even.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
That
I
was
so
Trey talking
apologize,
to
man.
his son. I
I
didn't
thought you
say
were
a
coming at me
word.
silent.
See,
My bad, my
lets
man.
me know where
Honestly, my
your
bad.
energy's resonating while you're trying to make
No,
insinuations
I thought you
about
were
where
getting
my
upset.
energy is
I
at.
thought you were getting
Come
upset.
on, man.
All right.
It's a
Let's
clear
go
display. You
again.
It's
told me where my
misunderstanding.
energy was at, and then you
Let's bring it back
responded to
in,
that
bro.
man's statement, thinking it was me. You
Let's
just
be
showed where your
stoic,
energy
man.
is truly residing.
Let's be stoic.
Go ahead, Trey.
We don't have to, you know, complain back and forth.
I'm not going to defend myself anymore. It's just fine. You can think that. Let's move on and continue the conversation we were having.
So, someone else is trying to get in here as well. So, in a
Okay,
moment,
I
we'll do that.
can come down. It's fine.
Okay. So, Quell's gonna go down. I'm gonna bring him back up if this other person is a troll or bullshitter. And we're gonna keep this thing going.
Talk to you soon, man. Thanks for joining.
All right. Oh, they're not in there anymore. Look at that. Are they?
He did.
Nope, they're out of here. Look at that. Let's get Quell back on this one. But yeah.
Okay, one thing that I know for a fact women want is to be heard and respected, and not for us men to tell them what they want. To conduct yourself as the best man that you are, and to be pursuant of advancing your abilities to convey that, like learning from your peers, things of that nature, taking on the best habits and behaviors within your ability. All of those things are relevant. But when it comes to growing yourself, you should never be growing yourself based on what you think it's going to allot with the women in your environment. So it should never.
These are
If
my
I make this
experiences,
adjustment,
and
women are going to look at me this way. Already, you've started off on the wrong foot, and
listen. These are
oftentimes,
my experiences through life, and I am just giving
I
this to
wasn't
men
even
because,
speaking
like Trey said, this is a men's
specifically to
platform.
you,
I'm not
bro.
speaking to women. I'm not okay. Well, I'm not speaking to women, to be clear. I'm speaking to the men out there, and this is the game I wish I would have peeped when I was younger. So this is what I've learned over time. And if I'm being blunt and stuff, I apologize. I'm just trying to
No,
shoot them as I
it's
know
not
it.
even that. It's just there's a healthier way of operation, and when you're teaching your peers how to, I guess, be desirable by women or just have their presence desired in general, it's to find the best version of themselves. So it should never be to run game or to have this specific means of operation.
Yeah.
It should be to learn oneself, to find the most responsible ways of conducting yourself, to really understand yourself, the things that make you tick, the things that frustrate you, to know yourself inside and out, so that when you're presenting yourself to anyone, you're presenting the most genuine rendition, and you have the most understanding and control of what it is you desire, what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're putting forth, what you're looking to receive. All of these important factors. to assess yourself and to have the most constructed and healthy comprehension of who you are as an individual is the best possible advice that can be given. Because a lot of times guys model their behavior based on what somebody's taught them. And there's literal seminars and conventions where there's people, thousands of people going to a class for one person to teach them, like, oh, well, if you manner yourself in this behavior, if you model yourself after this, then this is what responsibility. And it's all just fucking nonsense and rhetoric. And it's a bunch of men proving that they're betas who are willing to submit to the notions of another beta who just wanted to understand how men operate. And so he came up with this whole premise of trying to teach and give this bravado and this
But Pierce,
knowledge.
that's what I was saying earlier about people being involved in the clinging to a group or whatever the case is. Like, just being cautious of just clinging to something and not having any self-understanding first, because then you're just taking in information and you don't really know how to apply it. You're just doing it based off of what someone told you and not having any self-awareness.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So,
I'd like to make a point on my main tenet that I wanted to get across today was young men shouldn't pedestalize nor chase nor run game on pussy. That should not be their purpose in life. They should have a more important purpose than running game, chasing pussy, manipulating women. And then it just so happens to be all the women want you and you can get all the pussy you want, but you got to stay on your purpose. So, like, it's a weird dichotomy. That's my only point here.
But it routes
I think the
everything
women
back
would
to
acknowledge
getting
that.
pussy.
I think
That whole concept routes everything back.
that's why I
to
just
getting
said you
pussy.
can't think about getting pussy, so it's like a catch-22. That's what I meant to say. Like, you can't start going getting pussy when it's coming at you that way, because then you're going to lose the ability to get that pussy. So it's a funny catch-22, but that's what it is. Women want a man that has a purpose beyond them.
It's the reality
attracted
that
to
the more you advance, the greater distraction is going to attempt. And so when you ascend to a certain level as a man, a certain level of comprehension of the world around you and of self, what happens is temptations start to come in, and it's the most subtle temptations that just seem acceptable. It's like, oh, it's only sex. It's only this. It's only that. You know what? I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not stealing. I'm not robbing. I'm just obliging a woman who's attracted to me. And so we're prone to starting to get into the way of thinking that it's acceptable just because. And so the more these advances happen, the more you start to be willing to entertain it, but that's when you need to be on the ball the most and realize, like, okay, if
Yes.
these things are happening so aggressively, it's because I'm in an aggressive state of growth. And so now temptations are arising, and they're doing so aggressively, but in the most subtle of manners, because it's persistent and consistent, but it's just something so seemingly simple and kind and sweet. It's just a woman who's attracted to me. What's wrong with that, right? But that exchange of energy, that you being willing to entertain that temptation is now what's knocked you off of your focus. It's distracted you. It's lowered the frequency at which you're vibrating. It impedes you on so many levels, and you have to be conscious of that as a man. These temptations that are arising are not just
Semen
simple
retention gives you
physical things.
power. Retain your semen, man, because it takes like over, I think, 40 days to regenerate it every time. So if you're trying to, it's a proven fact too. That's, again, you're more attractive to women when you retain it. So it's a catch-22. But just always remember this fact, young men. The moment you get off your purpose to take some of that pussy that you've earned through your purpose, you're no longer going to have that same cachet anymore, and you're not going to be able to get it anymore after that. You got to stay on a purpose, bro. Just have a purpose. It's important in life. You want to do that for yourself anyways, your self-esteem and a reason to get up in the morning. It's important. That would be my advice to young men. Find a purpose. Just any purpose, and pick it and go even. Like, it doesn't have to be something that compels you, but get one.
I like that comment. I'm not distracted by multiple wives. If anything, having multiple wives is a part of what keeps me grounded in my purpose. As a man, it's my purpose and responsibility to provide, not just financially, but to provide knowledge, to provide protection, to provide a loving environment, a safe environment, to be able to uplift and guide, and to be able to provide an environment where women can allow themselves to be themselves and to grow in their own time, unaffected by the hate and negativity of other men and past negative relationships or experiences. And so I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a polygamous man, and my wife is as well. My wife and I together have built our relationship and we've been together 11 years. And so we started off with the understanding that polygamy was the life that we were going to live and that we would continue to evolve. And so we continue to branch our relationship out and grow. And what we're doing is we're building a community, a network within ourselves. We're building an infrastructure. We're building protection. We're building unity. We're building understanding. When a man is able to provide a certain level of love and guidance for a woman, she tends to take pride in his ability to do so for more than just herself.
And,
Because she
and,
doesn't want to be covetous. She doesn't want to hoard what she knows is a good thing. And
and,
generally,
and,
it's a very fleeting thing in society. And so when a good woman has a good man, she wants to share that good man with other good
And let
women.
me ask you something, Pierce.
and
Pierce,
Trey,
hold
I'm
on.
a,
I
I'm
want to say
a,
something. I want to say something real quick, Quill. Let me ask you something. So I pinned the comment down here because it's the most prevalent comment that I get from women. Like the majority of women that I've met say exactly what she just said. She says,
But
maybe
they're
I'm
already
immature.
sharing their man with other women. They're just not doing it
exactly.
willfully.
Yeah, we know
You're
that. We
already
know
Exactly.
that. We know that. And I think they know that too.
Damn.
And if that's the case, can we admit that these women are living a delusion?
They are absolutely. You're living a delusion, and your willfulness to maintain outright control over a dynamic in your life is what will lead your life to spiral downward. Like for every instance that you try to control that's really out of your control, you'll realize that you have that much less control in your life, and it's going to make you miserable. So what you need to do is relinquish control over the things that you have no control over. So you're not going to be able to control a man's mind and a man's desires. What you can control is your response and your energy. So if you know you have a good man who presents himself respectfully to you and is open and honest with you about his intentions, he has left you with the ability to make an informed decision and a choice.
What do
And
you say to
most
the ones
women,
that say, okay, you could do it, I'm going to do it too?
exactly. But what happens is those women with that mind state who are like, all right,
It's not really the same for men and women.
but women, again, there are beta males and beta women, alpha males and alpha women. We'll get
What I'm
into that in
saying,
a
when a
second.
woman tell you, okay, I'm cool with you seeing multiple girls, well, I want to see multiple niggas too. Then
It's not the
But what
same for men
happens
and
is when
women.
a
I
woman
know
does
that,
that,
but
she
what do you
puts
say to
herself
them?
in that situation. So a man, we can physically sustain that. We can emotionally sustain that. But when a woman puts herself in that same dynamic, what she ends up doing is feeling used, abused, and
We
embarrassed
know
and
that.
broken.
Listen, Pierce, we
And
know
so,
that.
like,
But she
but yeah,
said she can
but she
handle
ends
it
up coming back
emotionally.
to the man. She ends up coming back to
Okay, so
that
Trey,
man.
you're asking what we say to her? What we say to her if she says
Yeah,
that to
like
us?
we know that she can't handle it emotionally, but she thinks that she can handle that emotionally. She thinks that she'd be just fine fucking a side nigga and you.
Yeah, but
I say to her,
but that's
listen,
what I'm
hon,
saying.
the reason I'm getting other women is because you can't handle my
But
sex
let me
drive.
explain.
You alone can't handle my sex drive. Why should you be going to get another man when you can't handle mine?
But she obviously could if she'd be going to get another
No,
man.
I'm gonna
But
keep it real.
the thing that
Women
solidifies her
over
understanding.
time. Let me say this real quick. Let me say this. This is facts right here. When you are inexperienced to a certain point as a man, meaning a young man, or maybe you didn't get it as much, there are women who don't want to fuck as much as you want to fuck every day. But at a certain level, trust me when I tell you, in her prime, you gonna be going down, and she gonna want to fuck all the time, and you ain't gonna have enough dick for her. This is usually happening
Oh yeah,
in
that's
the
a fact.
mid-30s,
That's a fact.
right? So just because she don't want to fuck now, and you don't want to fuck later, that doesn't matter. To satisfy your partner is a part of your responsibility in that relationship.
But to know how
And
to do so,
but
but to know how to do so correctly, because like you said, oh, sex drive. It's not about sex drive, because you could fuck a woman a million times in a day, and she still wants other men
more
because
dick.
you're not doing it correctly. So you may be
No, she's doing it
exhausting
for
and
different reasons,
exerting a
I would
bunch of
argue.
your energy, but if you're not fulfilling her, that sex is worthless.
Look, I would say that she's doing it for different reasons.
but
Women have emotional attachments to sex that men simply
but
don't. Men are the seed planters. We could get a million girls pregnant in
but
one
I think
day.
that's a
They have much. Hold on. They have much more serious consequences. That if they get impregnated, they got to carry that baby for 9 months and then raise it to adulthood. So we and them are different. We're programmed differently, and because of that, we simply have different evolutionarily
But
motivated
I think that's a
desires.
piss.
It's not wrong to
But I
point that
think that's a
out.
piss poor reason to think about it. It's just like he was just saying about why he's in a polygamous relationship. He's doing it responsibly. He has an understanding on how he's doing it. He's talked to his wife about it. They have an understanding, and they're doing this in a healthy way where it's not just about sex. So everybody in that
Well, buddy, may I ask you, how do you handle like, and you can tell as much or as little personal detail about this as you want, but how do you handle like satisfying yours and their sexual urges with
Semen
multiple
retention.
wives?
Listen, I know
Well,
the answer to that.
it's
Yeah.
I know the answer because I'm polygamous too, and so I'm just out of a polygamous relationship though. But when I'm handling like 3 different broads, 4 different women, and they all want to be sexually satisfied, the way you do it is by retaining your semen. See, when you bust that nut, you release a lot of things, including a lot of energy, and you'll notice that most men
Yes.
fall right to sleep, and that's when they have the opportunity to go through your phone
It's your
and
life
do all
force,
of the
man.
other
That's
stuff.
your energy.
But if you
Yep.
don't
Yep.
bust, and instead she busting like a motherfucking AK,
Choose when
you
you
done
bust
satisfied
strategically,
her
young
for
man.
the
Don't mean you
week.
can't have sex. You got to get good at not
So
busting.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I operate on a completely different level than most men around me, and so for me, it's like even with my wife, just with one woman. Let's focus on one woman.
Mm-hmm.
With my wife, there are so many specific key points that arouse me or I'm attracted to. That one thing. So today right now it's the nipples. Next time it's the curves on your hips. Next time it's your ass cheeks. Next time it's your eyes. Next time it's your lips. The way you bit your lip. Like, so it's not just like, oh, you're sexy and that's that. For me, there's like fucking dozens of different things that are key factors for why I'm attracted to my wife physically. And any one of those things I could focus on that could be so with any polygamous man, like if that's the way I focus on just one woman, you have to know that with any polygamous man, you're not going to have a duplicate. You're going to find different things that you're attracted to. So one woman might be able to cook a certain way. She might have certain art knowledge and certain architectural
But we
knowledge,
talking
where
about
another woman
specifically
has
the
certain
nut
spiritual
busting.
knowledge and certain knowledge
Specifically
of
the
the
nut
earth.
busting. If you got 3 women that want to have sex with you today and be fully fulfilled,
I'm going to be attracted to different things about them simultaneously.
But he's saying bust a nut. You can't bust a
that's what
nut
I'm saying.
3
Like,
No,
times.
but
So
I
you have to
literally
like
can't. You're talking
retain
to a
it.
man with 12 children, 12
yeah,
healthy,
Hey, bro, real
able-bodied,
quick,
we
you keep
have
strong-minded
saying
children.
children
wife.
over time.
Like,
Well, you keep saying wife singular, and I'm just like I wanted to clarify. What does that mean? Not wives. You said what?
because right now I'm only married to one woman
legally.
Okay.
legally.
But that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. If you have a great sex session and bust a nut and fall asleep and wake up, that's like 4 hours. You know what
For
I'm saying?
who? Yo, my guy, hold on. Let me tell you something. So there's people in this live who can tell you right now. Me and my wife did a demon live like 2 weeks ago, and they recorded it, and we fucked for 2 hours straight. That was just like on a Wednesday,
what?
just on a Wednesday. We fucked for 2 hours
You're
straight.
making
My
my
wife
point,
squirted. She squirted like 20 times. But my point is, we could have did that 3 times in a row, easily. She
But
maybe
this is what
couldn't
I'm
have
saying. When
physically handled it,
there's
but
other
I could have
women
done that
you
3
to
times
do
in a
that
row.
for. I'm talking about when there's other women, multiple, that you have to do that for. Fuck them 2 hours.
So I could have
times
done
in a
it
row.
3 times in a row. So I could go 6-hour sessions, 2-hour sessions with 3 different women, and that's not a concern for me.
Did you train yourself to be that way, or is that natural?
That's just natural stamina. That's just natural, like my attraction, what I'm aroused by, and the things that I'm attracted to. Like once that's engaged, then it's like that's what I operate on. So like for me,
And you don't feel like busting a nut? Like you can retain it for that long, like just naturally?
yeah, like I said, me and my wife fucked for 2 hours straight on a live, 2 hours straight before I busted a nut, and they watched and recorded it, and there was a bunch of trolls in there. 2 hours straight. She came about 20 times, squirted all over the place, made a wild fucking mess.
Bruh, you
But
should
there's
go on
only so
OnlyFans, man. You
long
can
that
make
a
some
woman's
cash off of
body
that
can
kind of thing.
sustain that, right? I could have went another fucking
Do
6
OnlyFans.
hours. Her body
Listen,
can't
bro,
sustain
listen. This is what I understand about women, okay? It's like, okay, you can have sex with a woman today, fuck her for 2-3 hours, whatever, and then in a couple of days or tomorrow night, or maybe the next night after that, she wants it again. And here's the thing that I'm saying: when you have to do it for multiple women, it becomes a task, especially if they don't live in the same place, especially if you have things that you have to do today. And even with one woman, even with one woman, when you have things that you have to do today, like Aquel said, him and his wife, they lucky to have sex 3-4 times a week because they're on a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you this
So I
though.
think the question that he's asking is, how do you maintain being on your purpose and
I'm an
sexually
entrepreneur.
satisfying
First and
all of the
foremost,
women?
I'm a business owner. First and foremost, I move on my time. I'm not an employee, so 8 hours of my day is not taken up working for somebody else. 8 hours of my wife's day is not taken up working for somebody
It's
else.
more
So
than that. As a business owner, I'm a business owner, and I have to spend 10 hours a day at least on my business.
what do you do for a living?
I run 3 different companies, but just in organization and organizing them and cutting the paychecks that I need to cut, it takes fucking 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, as a
Out
business
of a
owner,
day,
you don't get
every
less
day of the week,
hours. You get more hours. You just work for
you
yourself
need to,
now.
what you need to do is outsource, Trey, because you should realistically, as an entrepreneur, be working 10 hours out of your entire week. That means 2 hours a day that you devote to making sure that everything is overseen logistically, making sure that everything is signed off on, making sure that your employees understand their positions and what's to be fulfilled, and then
That
going
takes
about your
way
day.
more than 2 hours a day, bro.
Yeah,
I
well
don't know.
then,
Maybe
I
maybe
don't.
I'm in the wrong
Well
business.
then,
Maybe
what
I'm in
you
the
need
wrong
to do.
business. So I'm not gonna judge. Maybe I'm in
Yeah,
the
you got
wrong
to
business.
optimize. What you need to do is optimize. You're in the right business for you. You just got to optimize and outsource. Get the right people on the right things. And make people work for you. Make your time work for you. What I realized when I was younger is that I've only worked like 5 jobs in my entire life, 5 legitimate jobs. I'm 34,
Like,
and
I
I
mean,
used to work for people and feel so
if you
demeaned
don't
and
mind, if you don't
embarrassed. And
mind
I'm
me
like, you know
asking,
what? The
what kind of
person who
business do
owns
you
this
do?
company is in like Tahiti or some shit with his family, and I'm here keeping the doors open, working fucking 8 to 12 hours a day just to
No,
keep that
what
guy's
business
dream.
did you start?
I have a digital marketing business, and I also have a management. So I do entertainment management, like artist managing. So
Bro,
ESP talent
what?
management.
That is, bro, dog. Trust me when I tell you, artist management. I work with artist managers right now because I do. One of my joints is I'm an audio engineer. I own a recording studio. So
Okay, so
Me
see,
too, brother.
that's a
Wow,
taxing
nice.
position. I work in management. That's not a taxing position. Audio engineer, you're responsible for making sure
yeah,
that
yeah,
all
yeah.
these
I
jobs
see
get
what the
done correctly.
managers do though. The manager, when you're managing someone else, is you're actually managing that person. If
What I'm
you're
doing
out,
is I'm making cold calls, but I already have I already have so many strategic relationships that I've taken the time to cultivate over 15, 16 years. So I already know managers in the industry. So when it comes to getting my artist shows booked and when it comes to getting them whatever positions I need them, whatever photo shoots, this, that, I already have all of those resources built up. So for me, it's nothing but a call to get them funneled off to the next center or to the next facility or to that. Like, it's not a
I
taxing
know, but even
situation.
doing that
It's
for
a
multiple
series of
artists,
texts and calls.
is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess all I'm saying is, bro,
It's
I
t-
really don't know of a lot of people. I know a lot of business owners, especially in my part. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, so I don't know where all this is at. But in my part where I'm from, I know a lot of business owners. And one thing that is common amongst the businesses that succeed and are still here after years is that the owners that went into those businesses, they
Hold on one
worked
second.
harder for themselves than they did for an employer, and they had to spend more hours in order to even get the business off the ground.
to get it in the black instead of the red.
That's
Yeah.
not everybody's story.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I'm
not
a
saying
I'm
it's
a
everybody's
two-time
story.
college graduate. I have an honors diploma in business administration, and I also have a diploma in digital marketing. And I'm working on a third diploma simultaneously for app development. So right now, I'm actually in college while doing all of these things.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not, like I said, it's not the same for everybody. But it's just like I don't know of anyone personally that I personally met in my face type that was a business owner that worked less hours than he did for his employer once he became a business owner and was successful. off
But
that.
Trey, I gotta bounce out, yo. I'm about to. I gotta go do a few things. It was good
Nah,
talking to all of
well,
y'all.
I got Nate
Nice to meet you.
Nice
anyway,
meeting you, bro. I
if he's
followed you.
still
You said
here,
what up?
he ain't here. All right,
What
Quell,
happened?
y'all. Hey,
All right.
make sure y'all go follow Quell. Peace.
I'm following him right now.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
We should try to get a lady in here. Is there any women in the audience that
And
want
bring some feminine
to
energy.
join and give us their perspective?
Bring in some feminine energy. Let's see if Vaughn want to come up here. Vaun is done. We got Miss Katrina
See if
Renee.
I'll send out some info.
We got RN Plaster 89. We got some women in here. Nicole Won't Lie. Azalea.
Shout out. That's my homegirl.
So I just tried to add everybody. So whoever pop in. But you know, the women, they don't really like popping in as much as us. We be, for some reason, we always like to share our opinions a little more. It's weird because in real life I find it different, but then on Instagram it's like, damn, it's totally opposite. Everybody is declining, back to back to back.
Everybody is declining.
Strike three. Strike three, bro. You're out.
Let's see. Oh,
Hey. Oh, what's up, girlie?
Hey,
baby,
How's it going? She's the perfect girl to join this. I was hoping you might.
you know this?
I'm doing dishes and cleaning house, so
Nice.
Being a woman.
My kind of girl. Yeah, right, bro?
Yo, so you want to
So
add
what's
in
up?
on
Have you been listening?
You've
Do
been
you have any
hearing a lot
thoughts?
out here. I know you've been hearing a lot. You want to add in?
I mean, like I said, maybe I'm too immature or too jealous. I don't know. I don't share well with others.
But do you think that most of the
That's
women that you know feel the same way?
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Did you hear the point that he made, though? I found it kind of interesting. He was like, look, you're sharing your man either way. This is just like agreed upon willingly, consensually, and out in the open. I thought that was kind of deep.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, I've got my own situations, you know. I mean, I've been I've been married 12 years and cheated on twice. So, my feelings are not that if he would have told me first, I would have felt different about it. But that's because I'm confident enough in myself to know that I'm pretty sure I can handle anything you can throw at me. So,
Hey, buddy, I'm not sure the guy's name at the bottom, but if you would be so kind to indulge this, you don't have to, but why don't you pitch to my friend RN Plaster, like, sell her on this concept
Okay, well,
for a second. Give like
I
a,
would
a
never
2-minute
attempt to
pitch.
sell anybody on.
I'm just saying hypothetically. She's strong
Okay, I
enough that I know
understand
she
what you're
won't
saying,
fall
so I
for it.
just
I'm
want to
just,
clarify.
yeah, same here.
There are benefits to understanding and being open-minded, because you can evolve your life and have a level of love that you would have been closed off to previously. So the depth at which you can perceive or receive love, the way you're able to evolve your life and the things you're able to accomplish can be so much more vast if you were to open your mind and be receptive to the thought of a polygamous lifestyle or a polyamorous lifestyle, which is the bridgings of a polygamous lifestyle. So in polyamory, what you are in is a relationship where essentially you and your partner are committed to one another, but you're both open to potentially evolving your relationship in other ways, engaging. So maybe your partner might see another woman or you may see another man. So that in itself is an open-minded concept that can help you potentially evolve or understand whether or not polygamy could be a lifestyle for you. A lot of people have these reserved notions of I would never and I could never, but after going through a lot of heartache and a lot of treachery, what you find is that you're a lot more open-minded to evolving your relationship or being less guarded with yourself or more guarded with yourself. So, like, however it transpires, rather than having to go through all of the turmoil of having to evolve anyway and find out what works best for you based on someone breaking your heart constantly or having failed relationships constantly, it would be a much healthier dynamic to be open-minded right out the gate and say, you know what, let me try a different approach that I haven't tried previously, because every one that I have tried previously was detrimental. It wasn't healthy. It didn't flourish into anything. It didn't evolve. I ended up unhappy, maybe with children, and somebody who wasn't there or wasn't reliable. So all these things, it makes you realize like the concept of polygamy is actually fulfilling if you plan on living it in a healthy manner, where you're looking to build a network of other people who you can invest your love into, your growth into, who you can learn from, evolve with, help, like we were discussing, managing businesses. Very difficult. Imagine if you had other partners who you said, you know what? We're going into this. Three of us
Dang.
are going to manage this business. We're going to maintain this business. We're going to do this together as a family because we have something to provide for. We have the family unit that we need to sustain and build and be able to create a future for. So you have those initiatives and those motivating factors that really inspire you guys to work together, to unify, to be more open-minded, and to understand that together with a larger unit, you're able to accomplish so much more. Even if it's just taking care of children. Imagine if you had a sister or a partner there who was able to sustain those responsibilities, and you could just go take a bath for an hour and trust that your children aren't with a babysitter but with family, because that's who you grew up, and you guys took the time to grow a learning and an understanding of one another and how you guys want to parent your children together. And so it's somebody who you can trust in and believe that you know your children are comfortable and safe. Like, it's so many.
So do you find ever that the women get jealous of each other, or do you have troubles like that ever?
No, and like I said, if you're a man who's hoarding women, just then you're duplicating a woman's characteristics. That's an unhealthy thing. But when you have women who complement one another, because they have maybe one is really good in the kitchen and another one is really good with home maintenance, or another one is really good with the children, or another one is really good artistically, or she's really good with running the business. So they all bring different facets to the
I
table where
want
they're
to say this.
complementing one another's existing characteristics. They're not overlapping, they're not duplicating, they're not extorting or taking advantage. They're nurturing and complementing one another and growing as a working machine
What
based
do you
on
think
this.
about this, RN?
So my first question is, who picks? So like you have the woman that you're married to, so your wife. So if you bring a third person or a second woman into the relationship, who decides? Like, if she doesn't like that woman, is it a no-go from there, or are you the
Well, I mean,
primary?
yeah, happy wife, happy life, as they say, right? But furthermore, a
Yeah,
man needs to
go.
stand on a man's ground. So if you're engaging in an interaction, you should understand what the basis of that interaction is to begin with. It shouldn't be something that would leave a sour taste in your wife's mouth, because she trusts your judgment as a man, and you should trust your own to know that you're not just pursuing something based on sex or based on your own carnal desires, but rather a healthy construct and an additive to an already healthy and happy life and family.
Wow, damn, dude, that's
Yo,
deep.
you see how I'm
So
talking though, Nick and Pierce? You guys, if y'all wouldn't have just met each other on that accord, y'all would actually like each other a lot.
I do like him. I didn't mean any hard feelings, by
yeah,
the way. He is
that
cool,
was
man. I
just
like
a
him a lot.
hiccup in the communication. There's no
Yeah,
disdain
facts.
or
Right.
dislike or
Fact.
but yeah, so in the instance where a man is being pursuant of something, your woman should be comfortable and be able to potentially see herself engaging in a dialogue, because the dialogue that you initiated with this other woman you're pursuant of should have been in a healthy manner to begin with. That your wife shouldn't have to reject the relationship because you weren't going to try and start a relationship outside of your marriage. You were going to engage in a healthy manner, and now your wife should be able to evolve into that dialogue. So, for instance, for me to say, "Hey, baby, I met a really attractive woman today. She was really cool. We had a really good conversation. She was very interesting, intriguing. She told me a lot of stuff about herself. She's a part of the Native community, and she knows how to bead and things that I appreciate. That my wife knows. Like, okay, I can tell you have an appreciation for who this person is as a person. I'd like to understand them myself. So I say, like, maybe message her, or maybe I can bring her by sometime, or maybe we can interact. We could talk on live sometime together. You guys can get to know each other. And so, like, you open up a dialogue of engagement. You creating an open space for a potential evolving of communication. If
You
that
make
makes
Rachel,
sense.
thoughts?
I mean, you make it sound real good, but so how do you deal with
Oh
jealousy?
shit! Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
So yeah, so RN, like, here's the thing. Here's the real question. Do you think, you heard it from the best guy in the world, first of all. Do you think,
No joke. You ain't
do
lying.
you think that you could overcome your immature characteristics of jealousy and selfishness in order to live a more loving and bountiful life?
Ooh.
Mm.
Can I answer for her before she answers? I'd like to interject and give her some time to mill that over. I think that it's not an acceptance, or rather, inability for a woman to accept, because they already know men are dogs. So it's that women are tired of being slapped in the face with disrespect and lies. They're tired of being deceived. If men were open and clerical, a lot more women would feel comfortable and be like, you know what? I like that approach by comparison to what I've been receiving. So even though I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying, I'm open-minded to the honesty. I appreciate that factor, and they can go from there. So, like, it's not a matter of a woman being insecure or being jealous. I don't really think that's a thing. I think that they use that as an excuse or a defense mechanism, because a lot of women are uninhibited. You know what I mean? If you think about it, most women are like, if you ask most women, they've probably kissed another woman. They've probably
You can get them in the right mood to do that
done
kind of thing
things
for
that were
sure.
uninhibited. Like, most women are by nature just uninhibited creatures, but they have to keep creating these confines for themselves based on the environments that they encounter and the guys that they encounter, where it's like, well, nope, now I have to put up a wall. I can't be that free spirited
Yep.
around this guy or around this environment, because guys will get rapey or handsy if I dress way too sexy. Or so now women start putting themselves in barriers that they don't necessarily want to exist in, based on the environmental conditions they've experienced.
Dare I suggest they desire ultimately to be able to be
To be
uninhibited,
liberated,
protected and
not
provided for in
uninhibited, just
such
to
a
be
way they can get.
liberated of all the bullshit that
Okay,
they've had
yeah,
to
maybe that's better.
encapsulate themselves in. They just want to be liberated
Yes.
in general. And, like, I mean, that's why you have initiatives like Free the Nipple and all this stuff, where women are like, stop making us do what you want us to do and leave us the fuck alone to do what we want to do in our own timing. And rightfully so.
Yo, RN, what do you think about this? I'm
Rich.
so interested to hear what the woman
Yeah,
has
Rich,
to
go
say.
ahead. Me
Uh,
too.
I don't like, I mean, it sounds nice, like, to have helpers and things like that, but ultimately what it comes down to is I want to be enough for my man. Like, I want to be it. I don't
So
I
does
don't
that
want
mean
him to
if
have
there was
to.
another woman, you don't feel like you were enough for him?
Exactly.
What do you think about that,
Exactly.
sis?
That I think that I know that it's a self-centered perception, and once you get outside yourself, you'll realize that that's just an unhealthy construct that you've placed on yourself based on societal factors. Because when you genuinely love somebody and you admire somebody, you want to share that love in a healthy manner, of course. You want to see that love flourish. You don't just, it's like finding the most beautiful flower in the world and then picking it and putting it in a case and putting that case in a safe. It's like, wow, well,
Oh
you've just
shit.
completely tainted all of the value and beauty
Oh
of that,
my
what you
God.
thought you found. So, like, why would I want to captivate it and now take it off the market and hide it and tuck it away for nobody to ever be able to see and share and know that it exists, and to see the reality of what I live every day and the beauty of what I have the honor of taking part in?
Oh my God.
Holy hell, bro.
Jesus Christ. Yo, are y'all following this shit right now? Yo, I need some likes in this
Bars,
bitch.
as they
Yo, we
say.
need some likes in this. Hey,
That's
Pierce,
some
put
bars.
your fucking cash app down there, bro.
For real, for real. Put that shit
Yo,
out
No,
there.
y'all
I'm
gotta pay
good.
for this
Y'all
shit, man.
better donate.
Oh my God.
This shit shouldn't be
It's
free.
all out of love and
These are
respect for my
bars.
peers, man. Like, honesty is the way that we learn and evolve with and because of, and sometimes in spite of one another.
I'll tell you what, man, you certainly make a compelling case. It sure sounds like you got some shit figured out.
Ooh,
I'll
It's
say
this is
that
what
trial
much.
and
that
error,
helped me
brother.
too,
I'm
though, bro.
34 years old. I made a shit ton of mistakes and had no choice but to learn from those mistakes, and also learn from the mistakes of my peers and the growth of
For
my
what
peers.
it's worth, I'm 35. I'm 35, so I'm right
Yes,
around you.
sir.
And so Arian, are you ready to try polygamy?
Hey,
Ah.
I think it's going to take a
Rachel, you know
lot
who
more
to
than
call
one
when you are.
conversation with seeming, and that's the thing.
Rachel, you know how to call who to call when
That's the
you
thing.
are.
I'm just a guy behind the screen on the internet, right? So this comes off as
Yo,
very
no, it
charismatic.
took
It's
one
like, yeah, it all
conversation with
sounds
you for me.
convincing.
What are you talking about?
It all sounds convincing, right? But like, I don't want to be the guy who's convincing. I want for you to have life encounters that lead you to your own perspectives and perception, right? And then maybe some of these words I'm saying will ring out and some of these things will stand true, but I'm not trying to sway you or convince you. I'm trying to give you an open dialogue and perspective based on what your norm is, because I could tell this isn't a dialogue you've previously had. And so now by having this perspective, you can engage in evolving on that and seeing how you want to go about it, and maybe reading some articles or maybe talking to some different people. But now it's an open dialogue, whereas it's not something you're closed off to and completely sheltered from.
Hey, yo, is AZ Lay
Absolutely.
X or whatever the name is she a female? Because if so, she says polyamory better for me. Haha.
Man,
You should jump up with us. I want to hear it from a
hey,
woman's
and look, I
perspective
want
on
to say
this.
this too.
She's
It's
saying
like
polyamory.
it's two hierarchies
Hmm.
in our society that I feel like need to be clarified. You have one called the social hierarchy, and then you have one called the classical hierarchy. Now, here's the thing. The classical hierarchy actually determines the social hierarchy. But people are so stuck in the social hierarchy that they lose focus on the real hierarchy, the classical hierarchy. Classical hierarchy is in money and assets. And when you are in a polygamous situation, you involve yourself with more class. If you understand what I'm saying. Now you could be classless and put on a facade for the social hierarchy. Like I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people straight up live in poverty together, all in love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
But they want to know that love is theirs, and it's only between the two of them. It's like, we need to hold on to this love here in poverty. Like, what's that
like
love
what?
doing for you guys?
How could you even be in love and impoverished and feel okay about it? Like, this is the reason why our society really, really needs polygamy, because you got 90% of us with like nothing.
Good point, man. Wow, that's so
Then you
true.
got 10% of us who are living polygamous lifestyles.
Yeah, man, that's a commercial
Like,
right there.
what the fuck?
That's a promo.
The ones that are at the
That's a
top,
pitch.
they're fucking everybody,
That's
including
great.
you. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact. Yeah.
Involving
No,
themselves
that's a
with
fact.
different people every day, networking. That's what it's about. It's not about hoarding. Like an old
And
lady.
the thing is, okay, so let's look at this from a structure facet, right? A lot of people consider themselves structured. They work a job, they manage their time, they're responsible, right? But then they'll have 6 relationships in a year's duration. And so that's a relationship for every 2 months. And so they've slept with 6 different people in a year's time. So rather than structuring that time and actually breaking down their life like a business and a schedule and saying, you know what, rather than sleep with 6 different people over 2 months each in a year, I'm going to be in a relationship simultaneously with 6 different people. And I'm going to see how this works out. And I'm going to see, because realistically, you're doing the same thing.
Wow.
You're just not including the facet of overlapping with those other individuals, but you've slept with 6 different people. And you've quote
Wow,
unquote
bro.
had
That's
a
deep.
relationship. You refer to it as a relationship. Well, if you're in a relationship every 2 months, roughly, and a lot of us can say we've had friends and family who are in a relationship or a new relationship every 2 to 3 months. So that's 3 to 6 people per year, 4 to 6 people per year, depending on the numbers. Why the fuck is it wrong to do that simultaneously, but it's not wrong to do it dispersed between a certain duration? I don't like
Well,
these
yeah,
things
Rach,
that we.
I know since you're like new to this, maybe if you're still want to hang, that's great. But if you're feeling a little like you've had enough questions for now, it seems like this other lady might want to come on, and she's
But
for
let's face it
polyamory.
though,
It
bro.
says so. It'd be nice to hear from her
Let's
too.
face it real quick. Though. If
Let's
you
face
were
it.
dating a girl who you knew was simultaneously dating 5 other men, you wouldn't take her seriously. You have
Of
sex
course
with
I
her
would.
and move
Of
to
I
course I
another
would.
wouldn't
room.
date
See,
her.
see,
I
I'm
would
not the
not be
typical
dating her.
man. Of course I would. I would feel like, okay, now we got something going here because now she has 5 viable
Wow.
fucking options. And when she does pick me,
Wow.
I'll know inevitably that she knows within her heart of hearts that I'm the viable mate because I
Ooh, I
didn't keep her
like that. I
sectioned off.
like that
I didn't keep her
viewpoint, nigga.
secluded. I didn't try to keep her off in a corner and have her run game on her and have her all to myself. Nah, I
So
let you
what if
go
she
free.
fucked
Go
4 of
ahead
them
and roam
niggas?
amongst those niggas. Go ahead and graze amongst the cattle and find out that those motherfuckers are lame firsthand. Because I can tell you these niggas are lame, or I can let you go dwell amongst them. And when you're sleeping on a couple couches and bouncing around from house to house, or chilling with the homies, or having somebody disrespect you because your man won't defend you, and when you experience all these things firsthand for yourself, then you could come back to me and we could have a discussion and I'll show you like, see, I told you I was the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
man
but
for
look,
you,
this is what I'm
but
saying.
you had to find out for
If
yourself.
she, you know,
But with the
she
respect,
hitting 5 other niggas right now, she fucking 5 other people. Now,
Nigga,
first of all, when you hit it,
you fucked a
you gotta
whore
use a
before, haven't
condom
you?
for that.
I fucked multiple whores before. I fucked strippers and escorts and
I
I
know, but
fucked
would you
different
make
like.
them? Would you make that same woman into a wife?
Of course, guess what? That same woman is motivated, driven, has integrity because she's going for what she needs in spite of anybody's fucking judgment. So that woman right there has focus. She has boundaries. She knows exactly what she's
You
willing
don't
to
think
do
that's a
in order
little
to get what
selfish?
she requires. And all of those things properly honed and properly
But no, I'm saying
balanced.
you don't think it's selfish to go for what you want, regardless of others around you.
Regardless of what, but why? By a woman selling her pussy, who is she hurting other than herself? Now we're not talking about like children involved and
She's
stuff where
hurting
she's
her
neglected children or something.
father's
We're just talking
name
about
and
a
her
woman
family.
who's no, that's unfair to say, bro, because we all have struggle. So you're saying that your struggle is you're responsible for considering your family in your struggle? You have to live your life as a man. Why does a woman not have to live her life as a woman?
Because she's a woman. Is a difference.
But there's no man standing for or with her. So until she has that, she is her
No,
own
no,
man.
it's the man standing with her as her father, and in her father's absence, it's the
Okay,
government.
but that's not realistic. That's a lot of women don't have fathers. A lot of women come up in broken homes. A lot
Yeah,
of women
I
come
know they
up in the
come from
system.
broken homes, but that don't mean nothing because they still have a system in place for them that will help them in their times of need. The women that strip today, let me trust me when I tell you, because I go to the strip club all the time. They don't have to strip. They're not homeless if they
No,
don't
they
go and shake
don't.
their
But
ass
guess
on the
what?
pole.
It's either that or guess what? It's either that or dehumanize yourself and embarrass yourself, having to
No,
go
it's either
sign a
that or
bunch of
get a
Hold on, no, no,
job.
no, 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 no. Because when these women are using these government organizations, they gotta go sit for hours in meetings and be humiliated and dehumanized, signing all types of documents and giving them your fucking blood type essentially,
That's
just for them
because
to
they don't
cut
want
you
to
a
go.
check for
Listen,
a couple
that's
hundred
because they don't
dollars.
want to go and get a job. Hear me out.
No, that's because they can't simultaneously provide for children and get a job. This
Yeah.
is unrealistic rhetoric that you're speaking, Trey.
No,
It's
no, 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 no. Hear me
unrealistic
out. Hear me
because you
out. No,
can't
hear me out.
expect
Hear me
for
out.
these
Hear me
women.
out. You mean a woman who has made a decision to have premarital sex and has to deal
A woman
with
who
the
entrusted a man,
consequences of her actions?
herself in the hands of a man. So a
You said
man is
what?
supposed to be reliable, and so a man is supposed to be reliable and have integrity. These women can't be wrong for trusting men who didn't live up to their responsibilities. So if a man's not stepping up
Yeah,
to the
yeah. No,
plate,
no, no, no.
which in many instances,
No. Living up to
we
the
can be
responsibility
realistic
is
and say a
having a
lot of these
ring.
niggas are abandoning their
It's the ring,
responsibilities.
bro.
It's not women being raped; it's
Bro,
niggas
you're not hearing
abandoning
me. It's the
responsibility.
ring, bro. Listen, hear me. Hear me. If our women would wait to have
But they haven't.
babies
So what's the
with
next step?
someone
They're just garbage.
until they were marry them. Listen real quick, because this is some real shit. This is how you know. If nobody knows, it's the oldest trick in the book. It's been happening for years. This is how you know when a nigga fuck with you on that level to raise kids with you. It's because
So
he
you
got
saying
down
there's
on
not
his
divorcees
knee.
out there?
He got
There's
down on
not
his
millions
knee
of
and he
divorcees.
proposed to you as his wife. That's when you have that nigga baby. Before that,
You,
it's not worth
That's
it.
a fair
but you're
point.
saying there's not millions of women out there divorced? There are fucking millions of
Yeah, yeah,
divorcees.
it's a very
Niggas literally
small number of
convinced them.
people.
Niggas bamboozled them with the
But do you know
ring
that
and
80%
It's a
of
abandoned
the
them.
very small number of people.
80% of those
Only one
divorces
in
are
five
initiated by
women get
women.
married. Like,
80% of divorces are initiated
Because
by
they were
women,
with
by the
men
way.
who
So they're
weren't living up
choosing
to their
to leave.
responsibilities.
but
Most
listen,
of those
those
women were with
people
men
are
who were
I'm just throwing that
represent
out there. I'm
small
bullshit men.
not saying
numbers.
you're
Those people
It all
represent
leads
a
back to
very
us.
small
It
number of
leads back
people,
to us.
bro.
It all leads back to us. So if you're gonna be the type of man who's gonna devalue a woman and be like, oh, she has no value because she went and had sex outside of marriage, or because she has children, or because she strips
Nah, nobody said no
like
value.
that's you're
That's a
marginalizing
little
those
extreme.
women's value. And
That's a
guess
little
what? You're
extreme.
not gonna be the man who's going to be able to witness or be a part of their blessings.
No, no,
Because
no.
you're
Listen, listen,
you're the
listen.
one who's gonna
To say that
disregard them and
she is
marginalize them.
devalued or she don't have no value, that's extreme. I'm not saying that. Different strokes for different folks. It depends
No,
on
no,
the
no.
woman.
You're devaluing them within your own mind. I'm not saying like necessarily within her, like you're attacking her or mistreating her, but you're devaluing her in your own mind by not seeing what
No,
she
no, no,
which
no,
brings to
no.
the
I'm
table
not
and what
devalued.
she has
Listen,
to
just
offer.
listen, bro. Let
I
me
just
explain. If you play 2K or Madden, you'll know that each player comes with something called accolades. And some of them
Accolades.
may be better in other things, like you said. Even when it comes to the women that you date, then one of them might be better at this while the other is better at that, or worse at this while the other is worse at that. And yes, it is a worse situation rather than a better situation if the kids are not mine. And that's it. It's not a she's not totally valueless, but that's a downgrade on the that accolade. There are other accolades
let me
about
play
women.
hypothetical real quick. This is just devil's advocate to your point. What product maintains value with use in time? It loses value if with the more use it gets in time. Any product in the market, right? So if you want to look at it like that, I'm just playing hypothetical
That's
devil's advocate.
physically. That's
I'm not
physically,
saying that
but
I necessarily
mentally,
feel
it's
this
the
way.
opposite. So,
Right,
so,
right.
and
I would agree with something
since
like
the
that, maybe,
woman is
but I'm not even.
both, she has to simultaneously maintain her physical value while her mental value develops. And what happens is, before the mental value develops, they give away something that's priceless for pennies. For pennies.
Great point. Yeah. Wow. Well
For a
said.
promise.
So
Well
For a
said.
I have a
chain.
question.
For some weed.
Hit us, Rach.
Oh, we said what?
So, like in that situation
But
where
that's like
the
us being
woman
like,
maybe like the woman may be sleeping with multiple other people and then come back to you, you don't lose any sort of respect for her or have a resentment towards her because you weren't good enough to start off with, or
Yes, if
like
she's
how
gonna
does that
turn
work?
me
Because
into
I
a
feel like
cuck,
that would
I'm
be
out. Like I'm no cuck.
What'd you say?
And so if I'm providing for you and protecting for you with my life, I need to know. I need something in exchange. And
Yeah,
and
me
that's gonna
personally, there's
be
no way I would share with another man.
me, the only person who is
Just
entering your body and using that soil to produce my seed. If another nigga can plant his seed in the same soil, I don't know if my seed gonna grow in that soil. One of them gonna grow.
well before tests where they could test like who the babies was and stuff. This is exactly why evolutionarily women tried not to have sex with multiple partners at the same time, because if they got pregnant, they needed to know who the kid's dad was. So this is why it's set up like that. Evolution. This is again like evolutionary psychology. Things that might not be always true, and I'm not trying to paint anybody into a box if it doesn't apply. But just generally speaking, evolutionarily, that seems to be the case psychologically.
so my thing is, all the women that are overlooked, there are going to be smart, strong men who are going to build an infrastructure of women who will be led to greatness based on
Hmm.
those men seeing the value in the women that the quote unquote strong men overlook, because there's a lot of men who think that they're strong, but then when it comes to stuff like this, they turn into the women. The same way a woman's like, oh, I could not be with more than one a man with more than one woman. The same way RN just said that. She's like, nope. The same way females are so guarded over their heart is the same way niggas turn into the same
Well,
female
can I
when
just
the
clarify?
idea of being with a woman who's had multiple mates is presented to them. Like, no, I would never fuck a hoe because I deserve more than that. Like, why? Because you said?
No, it's about order,
No, I
bro.
just want to clarify. I was just evolutionary. It's kind of like instinctual in all of us that way, because unless you had like DNA tests to know if multiple men are having sex with one woman at the same time, it's pregnant, nobody can know for sure who the baby's is.
That is true.
So that's what I was
Not
saying.
only
That's just
that,
a factor, I
not
think.
only that, but it's just like when
But why does that matter? Why does that matter? Because I would raise that child like
Well, I'm not going to raise
if
somebody
that woman
else's.
said,
I'm
I
not going
want
to
to
raise
be
somebody
with
else's
you.
child.
If that woman said, you know what, I want to be with you. I feel safest and comfortable with you. I would like to be with you. I want to stay with
Mm-mm.
you. I want you. I respect you. I would be like, okay. And
I
I
have
would
no
raise that
investment in
child
my
as
woman's
my own.
child.
So why the fuck does it matter whose child whose biological seed that child was? Because that child's gonna be raised and protected and provided for regardless. Because I'm a man who stands on the belief and the knowledge that all children need to be provided for and protected regardless of who they are.
The dad should do it,
yeah,
not
yeah,
No,
me.
yeah,
but
I
that's
agree
but
The
with
that's
that.
dad
such
Hold
a
should
on,
do it,
listen,
not me.
listen, listen. I agree with what Pierce is saying right now about all children need to be protected and provided for. But I guess what I'm
Me too.
saying, or what I was saying, is, when you get with a woman and you're expected, you have a certain list of expectations to protect and provide for her with your life, being one of those expectations, the most important one, I think. Oh, they say my volume low. Can y'all hear me?
No, I hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you're back, I think. Yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
I hear you just fine.
When you meet a woman, you're expected to protect and provide for her with your life. And here's the problem, because she has to offer something to you in return for that. So you can know.
She doesn't.
No,
Shit, not for me.
listen, bro. Just listen, bro. So that you can know. It's called collateral. It's in
That's absurd.
any agreement. She wants to she wants to know that you're going to protect and provide for her before you're together. That's the agreement, the collateral for that agreement. She has to have something in collateral for the agreement. This is why
These are Kevin Samuels teachings right here, bro. You got to stop with this shit. This is some straight up
I
Kevin
didn't hear
Samuels
nothing from
shit.
Kevin Samuels.
No.
Listen,
I'm saying like this is the type of shit he teaches. I'm not saying you've listened to him.
so
I'm
like,
saying this is on the same wavelengths with the
I'm
shit,
not
the
gonna
rhetoric
protect
that he
and
teaches.
provide for any woman. That's unless that's what you're an advocate for. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
So how do I determine which ones not to protect for and provide for versus the ones to protect and
All
provide
of them.
for?
You do it for all of them. All of them. That's a part of the reason why they're drawn to you. Because okay, a soldier's not picking and choosing which woman he wants to protect. He's protecting his country, nigga. He's defending and protecting every life. He's not saying, I like that woman, I'm gonna protect her, but that woman's fat, I'm not gonna protect her. Oh, that bitch got kids, I ain't protecting her. He's protecting and defending. So the same reason women love soldiers, women love men in badges, and women love men who defend her. Women love gangsters because gangsters stand on their shit and they defend their block against whoever, whatever. Like the same reason women are drawn to that facet is the same reason why a real defender and protector defends and protects everything. And anything under that comes to him naturally. Keep what you kill.
I think that's where
Keep
the
what
break
you
is
kill. So when you're
with
top
me.
dog and you make sure that everybody's taken care of around you and everybody eats,
I
top
just
dog
think
has
that
his
certain
reign.
people deserve certain things because of what they do, and what they deserve is not determined by me. So I don't need to be a part of the
No, but what you deserve is
of their
determined by
burden. Hold
you.
on, let me finish real quick. Let me finish real quick. Like, for instance, if I saw a girl spit in the face of a guy and then he knocked her the fuck out, bah! That ain't got shit to do with me. I'm not going to protect her, save her, provide for her, or nothing like that, bro. Because she just spit in that dude's face. And she deserved what she got in my eyes. Every girl is not worth saving or protecting for or providing
Okay, but
for.
listen,
I'm
but
gonna
are
keep
you
it
the
real,
type
bro.
of
I
man?
call
Are
that
you the type of man
simping.
to go pick that woman
I
up
call
off the
that
floor after the
simping,
fact,
bro.
or are you the type? You're not the type of man to stop him from doing it. I respect that. To each their own. Yeah, you got your stance. Are you the type of man to go pick that woman up off the floor, help her clean herself off, and explain to her why the fuck she did what she did was stupid, and actually help her understand, or like let her know that it's not every nigga who hates you or disrespects you,
Okay,
but yo,
only
you
if
put
I
yourself in a
felt that I
situation.
wasn't gonna get spat on too.
Yo, you're muted, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I was just gonna say, yeah, her attitude proves that I'm not
See, but
repping that.
that's
She's
in a
spelling
man's
that
that
right
guy.
face.
there is the judgment I'm talking about. See, niggas are saying in a perfect world.
Bro, I'm not trying to have a
Hold on,
woman
but
that spits
let me
on me,
explain
man.
to you guys.
That's
Let
all
me
I'm
explain
saying.
to you guys why the perfect world exists for a man like me. Because guys like you guys exist. So for every man who thinks, nope, I'm not doing that, you leave a bitch sitting on the ground. There's a bitch that's being disregarded by every man now. Guess what? There's a woman I'm going to pick up off the ground. I'm going to help her clean herself off. And I'm going to lead her in the right direction and be like, yo, disregard that type of behavior. Focus on this, da-da-da, blah, blah. And I'm going to give her incentivized, useful advice that she's going to think, wow, okay, that was helpful. And she's going to respect that I is assisted. Now she knows the men of
Hey,
integrity. So even if it's not me, she's more prone to leaning towards men of that behavior and characteristic. And she's
wow,
more inclined to
that's
find
deep.
a man of integrity because she sees and has an example of what it looks like. So
I ain't
Hey,
got that
bro, how
type
do you
of
determine
time,
the
bro.
amount of women you can do this for at a given time? And that's an honest
I ain't got
question.
that
But that's the
type
thing.
of time. What
You
y'all
can
doing?
do this for every woman, because I'm not talking about starting a relationship. I'm talking about giving guidance and giving commitment, giving respect.
But when do you like find you can bring them into a relationship? Do you have like an amount that you like determine like through math, your economics, or how do you figure that all out?
I mean, for me,
What's
it's a level of
sustainable?
comfort. Like I have a lot of things. My wife and I have been together 11 years. We have 12 children together. Well, I mean, we have 12 children all together. My wife and I have 9 children together at home, and I have 3 more children outside.
And do you have an economic plan for like ahead of time? Like, do you map out the sustainability so it's like all to a plan, or does it come spontaneously
I mean,
together, or what
I
happens?
always map out my success, so I'm always driven to accomplish way more than what I require. And so in that instance, I always make sure that my family's taken care of. We're always good. I would never create a dynamic that I wasn't able to sustain, whether mentally, financially, emotionally, physically, to any degree. So I'm always aware of
Word.
myself. Self-awareness is key for me. Being aware of myself and knowing what I can take on, what I'm committed to taking on, and what I don't desire.
Who taught you the most, would you say? Who was your biggest influence in learning this kind of sort of
Myself.
path? And you just solely figured it out on your own. There was nobody
No.
that really
That's
like
I mean, I've
put you.
I've taken advice from so many people, and I've looked to so many other resources, but I've never regarded anybody over myself within my own path. So
So that's a good outlook. But was there anybody that was like especially influential on you
myself,
besides you? Besides you?
no.
What is
In
it
all
about?
honesty, no. I
You
can
want to jump in?
honest
Let
to God
Aaron jump
say,
in.
and it's
Let
not just
Aaron jump
arrogance.
in, guys.
Sorry, I try to know my place and not interrupt.
No, hon, you're fine. You're fine. Interject. We want to hear you.
So what is it about a monogamous relationship that made you decide that that was not for you? Like, what was it about? I guess what
Okay,
drew you to polygamy? Does that make sense?
letting people down because
Hmm.
okay, learning yourself by letting people down is never a nice thing. And so when I was with women and I realized this feels unfamiliar, this feels uncomfortable, this is uncharacteristic, and I kept coming to these conclusions, I realized it was unfair to have to learn yourself in the way you want to conduct yourself based on the way somebody's responding to you. So I had to stop and actually assess myself and realize like I'm not set up for a typical or conventional monogamous relationship. And so for me to keep trying to commit to that ideal or notion is not only destructive, it's cowardice. It's unrealistic, it's unhealthy, it's inconsiderate, because now I'm just funneling through women in relationships that I know I have no intention of committing to. So I guess by being in a relationship and feeling completely claustrophobic and feeling like just like I couldn't breathe and feeling like it was unfamiliar to what my existence is meant to be, was what helped me conclude that there's much greater that my purpose is, and that I should be working towards.
Hey,
Hey,
Aaron, I
let's
want
say
to
one
ask
of your
Aaron a
wives
question.
now incorporated a new man. does that not bring an interesting dynamic into the situation that might be a little volatile, or how does that work?
I'm sorry, say again.
Like, say your wife ended up like having another man, as well as you right now, or multiple men. Like, would
Well,
that
if my
not
wife,
introduce like
it
some
would be a dialogue. So it would be an evolution of dialogue. My wife would come to me and she would aware me of the fact that she's had her eyes or her intentions or desires are set elsewhere. To which I would respond respectfully and amicably that it's time for us to part ways. Because I'm a polygamous man. I'm not a polyandrous man, and I'm not a polyamorous man. I'm a polygamous man.
Oh, can you help me distinguish the
Okay,
two?
so
I don't know the
polyandry
difference.
is when a woman has multiple husbands. So it is one woman to multiple husbands. That is polyandry. Polyamory is when you have a relationship between a woman and man, and they are both taking on different partners. So that's
Okay.
polyamory. And then polygamy is when you have one man to multiple wives. So
And so you said that that would be your deal breaker.
it's
You
no,
wouldn't
it's well, it's not
do
a
that.
deal breaker. It would be my realization that I'm not fulfilling my job to the required expectations or desires that she needs in order for her desires or intentions to not be placed elsewhere. So it's not something she's doing wrong. It would be her natural and healthy evolution beyond what it was that
Yeah.
we established. And I couldn't hold that against her, but it's not what I set out to live, so I wouldn't sustain that. It would
What
be an amicable separation.
What is it about the polygamy model? What is it about the polygamy model that compels you so much to be like the model for you?
Because I'm very protective over what I've created, and like I said, I'm a father of 12, and so in this instance, would you have multiple look at like from an animal standpoint, just from an animal standpoint, would you have multiple other men just existing around your children?
Hell no, bro. That's why I
Exactly.
said before, like I wouldn't let
Exactly.
my wife be. I wouldn't
And
share my
women are
wife. Yeah, I'm the same
women
way.
are much more delicate. I'm not saying women can't be malicious, but overall they're much more delicate and genuine creatures in comparison to men. So where my child may be being harmed, mistreated, violated, abused, assaulted, I'm not as concerned, and I know how to perceive those things and be much more observant. When I have a bunch of men in my domain, I have to worry about my women. I have to worry about my children. It's unnecessary concern. It's unnecessary, and it's not what I set out to do. I didn't set out to create a life where I'm
Yeah,
sharing my wife with multiple men. I created to set out
it
to
won't
live a
work.
life where I am a respectable, commendable enough of a man to the point where these women are fulfilled and appreciate my presence and don't desire anything
As
beyond.
the leader,
Hey,
almost.
Exactly.
I want to
Are you
ask
the leader?
RN.
Would you say?
Exactly. They don't
Hey,
want to, like, when you have a team, right? You don't see the kicker wanting to be the fucking captain. Like, it's not, everybody
That's what I'm
just
saying. A
accepts their
captain
role.
needs to
hey,
be the
And so
captain,
when
and
you
it
have
needs
a
to be
healthy
one.
relationship where everybody is
R-
willfully accepting of their role, that's what I'm looking to sustain. And if somebody wants to evolve beyond that, I respect that completely. I would
hey,
never
I want to
feel.
ask. I want to ask this question though to RN. RN, based on your experience with women, do you think that a lot of women um would prefer multiple men?
Good question.
Um, Based on my experience, I would say no. Like women would rather have one stable leader than multiple men. But
Would they
I'm
Why
feel
more
good
why
about
do
traditionally
themselves
old
sharing
why do you
themselves
school.
think
like
they
that with
have so
multiple
much
men?
sex with different men then? Do you think it's because the men are
Because
tricking them?
can I answer? Oh, I'm so excited to give an answer to this. Please let me answer this. Yo, so the
Wait,
reason
no,
Sure.
wait,
why is
let
because
RN go in first.
oh
I know your answer is gonna be so polished. You
Ladies
feel me?
first.
I
Ladies
want to hear the
first.
amateur kind of answer coming straight off the cup. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Rach.
I would say because a lot of, and maybe I'm wrong, like I said, I'm very much so old school and traditional, but I would say because a lot of women equate sex to love and they crave that attention from a man. And we've kind of been trained that sex is something that it's special, but if you give it to, they give it to anybody to have that connection with a man, I think.
Ooh,
Less
she came
value. It
at it
doesn't have
from
the
an
value
angle
it
I
used
wasn't
to.
going to. I really love a woman's perspective because I was going to say the fact is that so many men are lesser, washed down, watered down, diluted versions of what a real man is to the point where most women need multiple men in order to feel like they've had one. So in order to feel fully
Oh
satisfied,
shit.
a woman's got to muddle through 5 different men to get a good conversation out of one, some good dick out of the other,
Wow.
a big wallet out of one,
Oh
and
shit.
some respect out of another. And so they're busy making a Frankenstein out of all these different men that they encounter because no man is really stepping up to the plate and being a fucking man of integrity enough that they can have confidence. And so they have to just keep sewing together different parts of a nigga until they find an actual commendable man.
Is it the
That's
same?
crazy, bro.
Hey,
Wow.
let me ask you. Do you think it's the same for men in a polygamous situation? Because, like we said earlier,
Not at
one of them
all.
could cook,
Ooh.
one of them could clean, one of them can housemate. You know what I'm saying? So is it not the same for men?
Not at all. Not at all. Because a woman brings all of those things to the table. In all
You
reality,
just said a real
it's just
man brings all of those things to the table that it takes all of those men to bring to the table for a woman. And so, can we say that a real woman would bring all of those things to the table so that you were you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, but a real woman desires to share all of those things that she has with other women. She desires to share that and see other women be uplifted and protected and receive the provision of all of those things that she has access to. So that's the difference. As a man, it's our job to provide. It's not women's job to provide. So we are seen as viable mates for multiple women. But multiple men shouldn't be seen as viable for one woman. Because that means that those multiple men are acting as a man, or that woman would be able to need all of them in order to compile one man. Whereas we should be operating as a good man, and our women should desire to see that be shared with other women based on that. But we shouldn't desire to see our women be shared.
so basically, it's cool for us to be kind of selfish, but it's not cool for them to be kind of selfish.
No, it's not about a level of selfishness, because it's appreciation. Like I said, the reason why my wife is comfortable sharing me is because I've loved her so much and she has loved me so much, and we've gotten to the point that we know one another so well. She wants to be able to share that love that I've helped her experience.
So why don't you want to
wants
share the love
that
that
with
she's
other
helped you
women
experience?
who go overlooked and neglected. What'd you say?
You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
She wants to share the love that she's experienced from you. So why don't you want to share the love that you're experienced from her? So many men who don't
Because
get
the
love out
men
here,
who
who
she
commit
would be sharing
suicide.
that love with,
You don't think
because
another man deserves the love of your wife?
because those men should be doing the same thing I'm doing. Those men should be sustaining their life to the point that they have multiple women who desire to be their women. So why the fuck, because you're not on the ball,
Listen,
now
what
I
if
gotta
he is
share
one of
my
those
women
guys,
with you?
and he wants your wife as one of his multiple women, and she brings you love? She can bring him love?
But that's a matter of my wife's heart. Like, it's not commodities. We're not trading stocks or Pokemon cards, my nigga. Like, this is
Yeah,
still a
that's what I'm saying.
human
If it
who has
comes,
her own desires and intentions.
like, this is what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is, don't get it twisted, Pierce. I agree with you in the setup, how you say it, because I don't want my girl to be fucking with no nigga. And I'm
Hell no.
tell you the reason. And see, this is what I'm trying to get to. The reasoning, the specific reasoning behind why my girl can't fuck nobody, but I can fuck or bring into the table or bring another woman to our relationship. It's because I'm the one that's providing and protecting with my life. You're not. If something was to happen, I'm going to die for you. This is facts. I'm not going to beat around the bush, run and hide behind you.
If I'm
going
a
to
chick
take
when you say
the
that,
front row stance and take whatever comes because I'm a
the
man.
chick should be saying, I'm a fuck. Okay, you can fuck who you want.
I got
After you say that to them,
military benefits.
And so you're saying you should be
Don't try to take away
compensated
my
based on that.
military benefits. It's the only thing I got.
well,
I'm
I
a
think
vet.
it's like, I think he's saying like basically like if I'm willing to do that for us, like can you not just like show me some love when I need
Oh
it?
no, but listen, that's my point. So he's not saying it has to be the woman's desire. It has to be like, you know what? You're the ultimate provider. It has to be viewed. You have to be viewed by a woman as the ultimate
Gotcha.
provider to the point where she's relinquishing. You shouldn't be saying I'm indebted to this because I do this. You shouldn't be saying I'm entitled to or I deserve this
No,
because
yeah,
I
that's not
did
healthy.
this. That's the wrong
Very.
outlook. It's saying, you know what? I do this, and so naturally they're going to come to me. They're going to gravitate to me because what happens? A protector protects, and the meek come to a protector for protection and provision. And so when women see what you are, naturally they gravitate to you. You shouldn't have to demand or say like, oh, this is what the exchange is. There is no exchange. It's just reality that when you provide and
Listen,
protect.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I don't go off of people's promises because at the end of the day,
No, there's no promises. That's what I'm talking about. So the exchange should be the pride and gratuity
no,
of
there is a
accomplishing
promise,
and
bro.
protecting.
It
You
comes,
yourself
it
should
comes
be
in the vows,
gratified
bro.
with the job that you do
It's
and
an
not feel like
age-old
somebody should be
promise.
compensating.
Hear me out real quick. It's an age-old promise that a woman is going to stay there with a man throughout sickness, throughout health, until he dies. That is what you get in exchange for being a great husband. Here's the problem. In today's world, that's just a promise. Let's keep it real.
Oh shit.
So you want to go back to the old times where you could essentially own people. So
No,
let's
I
just
want
go
to go
back to
back to the
slavery.
time where
If you
women
just want to
were
be out here
wives.
owning bitches, then let's go back to slavery, my
Like when
nigga.
you sign your name on that paper, like hear me out. When women say, you know what, I ain't gonna get no pussy to nobody who unless they marry me. That's the number one. Number two is once you sign your name on that paper, you actually fulfill the terms of the agreement. That's all I'm asking for. Women used to do that. You feel me? They stayed
Yeah,
with
but men used to be men.
That's how come we know each other as family.
Men used to actually fully do their job and be complete men
No, man,
to the full
not all of them.
comprehension of
Some
what a
of
man
them
is.
did. Some of them used to cheat. They used to beat their wives, come home drunk, beat the shit out of her, and have kids all around the neighborhood and stuff like that. Men always been doing the shit that we do. All I'm saying is the women used to be different. For real.
But those are men. Those are males. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about men.
No, I'm talking
I'm
about
not
our
talking about being a
grandfathers,
male.
bro.
I'm not talking about being born with a
Ask the
dick. I'm
women.
talking about being an actual man, like a hunter-gatherer, a fucking protector, provider, a soldier, a warrior,
I know,
a
and
fucking
those people
mechanic, a
still
plumber, a
have.
real hands-on motherfucker who knows his way around his life and can actually give solace to a woman and allow her to feel safe and comfortable that he would do everything and know how to operate the house and she wouldn't have to raise a finger in
Yes, but
regards to
even
all
if
of
he
the
knows
inner
how to do that,
workings and
all of that
mechanics of
in
how things
our
operate.
world, bro, even if he knows how to do all of that, he's also has to know how to not involve himself with other women.
No, he doesn't. Not a real one.
Yeah, he does. In this world, in
I
order to
do it.
keep a woman,
I involve myself with other women. My wife sits and
I know
listens to me
you, bro,
while I
but
have
Pierce,
hours
I'm
long
not talking about
conversations.
you, Pierce. You
No,
are
but I'm
one
telling you,
in a.
I'm
Who can
not the
talk like
last of the
you?
dying breed, my nigga. We're all over the place. Like,
No, hear me out. I'm not talking about you specifically, Pierce. I'm talking about in general. Generally speaking, women, they do not want to share, like RN said. Even after hearing all of this, I guarantee if we ask the same question, she's going to answer it the same way. No, I don't want to share. I am selfish. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
Rachel?
and he's right. I don't want to share. And here's the other perspective. Like you were saying that, once you make someone your wife or your partner, I guess it's wives, right? Is that how you say it? It's even though you're only technically married to one. So what if one of those women puts you in a situation, or you're in a situation where you have to defend that woman with your life and you die? Then what happens to the other wives that have relied on you solely for
Oh shit.
all of these
ooh, these
things?
are good.
Because
That's
now
a deep question.
you're not just letting down one woman, you're letting down multiple, and letting down is such a, I don't mean it
okay,
that way,
so
but you know what I mean?
now we have to. For me, there's a discussion like that has to be had as far as what the situation is that she would be involving me in, because my wives are diligent women. My wives are respectable women of integrity. So if they get put in a situation where they need to defend themselves, it's not something that they went and initiated.
No,
I
I
would
think
feel
what
no
she's saying
ways.
is if you was to die, the life insurance is only going to go to one wife, and you're going to
So
have to
maybe you
trust
can't defend that wife.
that
Yeah.
she's the one.
But that's absurd.
Well,
That's an absurd notion. For starters, weapons exist. Secondly, all my children are trained. They go to karate, like all of this. Like so, my wives know how to defend and protect themselves. And if I'm not present, I trust that they know how to control and
No,
conduct
not
themselves
control. What
accordingly.
she's saying is the legal benefits that a wife gets from being a wife. Only one of them
Oh,
is going
okay.
to
So if
get.
she's just saying anything, it could be a car accident. Like just anything happens to
Can
me.
you hear me, Pig?
What up?
well, I mean, it's more than
Can
just
y'all
like
hear
the
me?
life insurance and the legal
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
benefits.
I
I
hear
was
It's
you.
listening
I
to
hear
the,
you,
you. I
Trey.
was listening
I
to
hear
you,
you.
Trey.
Look,
the
I'm saying this is what
sorry,
I'm
my
saying.
dogs are playing.
I know it's more than the legal benefits, but
You're
let's
fine,
for
Rachel.
instance, if you get into a motorcycle accident and you're in the ICU, only one girl or your wife actually can come and see you. The other wives,
Do you guys
they're
know
not.
what contracts are? Do you guys know what contractual stipulations are?
Yes, that's
So
different
even though
from.
I can only have one will, even though you can only have one will, if you have contractual stipulations and somebody signs and agrees to those contractual stipulations, then it's binding. So if my wife says, you know what, I like I'm comfortable with saying that your other wife gets 20% and that another wife gets 20%, and I'll take
Yeah, but
the
they can't
remaining
come and
60.
see you in the ICU.
Yeah,
Here's what I took
that's
Rachel saying
irrelevant.
as like
That's irrelevant.
maybe
I
this
don't
is
care about my dead body being viewed. I care about the provisions that I set up for the women that I love being recouped by those women. So
the thought that came to mind.
in an
What
instance
was
where the focus is making sure that my multiple wives, even though I can only legally leave my benefits to one, I can have multiple of them sign contracts stating that they will split those evenly. And because they signed contracts, they're legally bound to honor those
definitely?
notarized contracts and to split those funds evenly. So a will is just a piece of paper in comparison to what those legal contracts are.
That thinking that came to mind for me with what Rachel just said, and this might not be what she meant, but so say for instance you have to choose to lay your life down on the line for one wife. Isn't that kind of like not fair to the other four wives that you should have maybe not like sacrificed yourself for that one?
No, because they're all a part of this relationship, knowing what the circumstances are, and knowing
But
that
wouldn't they?
that
Wouldn't the?
there's no value over one of them than the other,
But
and
what?
that they're all equally as valuable. So that they are to unify and operate as a unit, and to maintain the essence of your existence in your absence, because of what
But for
you've
the greater good of
instilled.
the whole, maybe you shouldn't die. For the greater good of the whole is what the other wives might decide. Is what I was thinking.
But in an instance, like, are we talking like pulling a plug?
No,
No,
like
well
more
maybe.
what I'm saying is like if you pass away and you are the glue that holds them all together, basically you're the supporter, you're the provider, the leader, and then for whatever reason, doesn't even really matter, you're gone, you've passed away,
She
then
did.
That's why
who
you
leads
instill
these
your
women?
knowledge.
And then
That's why you instill your knowledge, your essence, and your protection and love and guidance in your family long before you depart. And that's something every man should practice. So that there are certain characteristics. Like, for instance, every night before I go to bed, I check every window and every door, and then I set the alarm. Little things that my wife sees, and she smiles when she sees it. She pays attention. God forbid I'm not around. These characteristics that you've observed, you picked up on it. Every time you do these things, you're connecting to me. You remember me. You know where you got it. You know where it initiated. You're thankful for my presence in existence beyond my physical existence, because I've made sure to take the time to instill specific characteristics, paying the bills at a certain time and doing this and all of these things that help sustain our life the way you see it being sustained and the way you're comfortable with it sustained. Observe and pay attention, and I share these traits and tendencies, and I tell them to observe this and to adopt these things.
Hey
Don't
guys,
embody them
I'm
when
gonna
I'm
stay the
present.
live. They're about to end me. I'm gonna save the live and come right back on here. We're gonna come right the fuck back immediately.
Oh,
All
but you
right.
better put this live out later. You better share this live later because it
Hell
was
yeah, I
dope.
got it.